You ever be driving on 50 and you happen to be driving by the drive-thrus in a particular scene?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Just over the years.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, buying.
Like, hey, I got to go see that movie.
Hey, wow, what is going on?
See if I can find it on the radio really fast.
She forgot her shirt. What's going on there? I have
They look to be more than friends.
I have a possible development for you in the world of my daughter's schooling. So we don't know yet.
Jason, did you know that Dave has a daughter?
What it's going to cost. But there is a threshold. I talked to you about this on Friday, where if you're below that threshold,
right,
you get major breaks. So the wife and I had a conversation over the weekend. I was like, you might have to move on from what you're doing right now. And I will just say this. I don't know if this is going to happen or not. This could actually be quite hilarious. Talked to some friends of ours who directed me to the right spot for the applications and all that for my wife. She may be stinging up this fall.
Oh, wow.
Getting her teaching credential. That's on the table right now because that's what she wants to do. She works with she works as an assistant right now at a elementary school in Rockland. She coaches the basketball, but she works as an assistant in the special education department and just loves it. She's in love with it. There's one kid there, and I won't say it's just in case any other parents are listening. I won't say he's her favorite, but she loves him, and she always tells me. So he's not incredibly verbal, but is. And, like many kids, will struggle with certain things, but don't struggle with others. Anytime she's wearing any form of King's gear at all, he comes up and goes, they call her Miss Mel, right? Hi, Miss Mel. Hey, tough night for Sabonis last night. Or, oh, what a big one. And he knows like all the stats, lays them out, and then just runs away. And makes her, she comes home, tells me the story every time, makes her day. She really wants to do that. So that may be, we may have both household women in college come fall. So
are you ready for that?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. No.
Let's just add on to that tuition rate.
Yeah. Higher education. If it wasn't for people like Chris, maybe it would be free, but no.
You don't want to join them?
No. My window is passed.
Oh man, I'm out of cash.
It's not for Mel.
Well, what am I going to go to school for? I don't even know what would I go to school for that I would use. And I mean, maybe like sports business administration, something like that.
You could be good at business.
Good at business. I mean, that's if I was honest to God, no joke. If I was going to go to school, because there's so much I'd have to do to even get to that point. I don't know where I'd start.
What was the guy's name?
High school transcripts.
Dr. Jerry Punch. Remember him? He was like a
boxing?
No, well, maybe some, but I know it sounds like it should be with Punch, but I think he did racing and maybe even some college football for ESPN.
Okay.
How great would that be if you were Dr. Carmichael Dave?
Ha!
And then people thought, like, oh, I just went to school and got my doctorate.
But then somebody has a medical emergency and they come to me and I have to do it. And I'm like,
I'm for a doctor.
Yeah, I'm doctor right here. That would be hilarious. Like how Shaq is listed as Dr. Shaquille O'Neal on the Sac State site. I would go to, if I was going to go to school, I've always wanted to learn about land developing. It fascinates me. It really, I know that's super random. It fascinates me to be able to, and before you start, I know it's 100,000 times more complicated, but it fascinates me to see like this giant plot of land that someone's ready to sell in a neighborhood and to buy it and go from grasslands, which is all over where I live, to whether you're going to build a business complex or housing or whatever, which I know Chris would support because I'd be helping the housing issue. But it's always fascinated me to go from grass to, oh, hey, here's 50 houses. Like, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
But seems simple. Hey, go buy all the stuff and build the thing and then sell them and profit. But I feel like it's more complicated than that.
Just a couple of courses and you've got it down.
We had a big sports weekend for all of y'all, especially in the world of basketball. Plus, Doug Christie did his press conference on Friday, visited with Alan Stiles also on Friday. We'll re-rack that at 7:28. In the meantime, we'll discuss a little bit. We have some audio that will hit at 6:30. When we get back, though, leading off, the Warriors advance, the Nuggets advance. We had a game one. Doug Christie's presser. And honestly, what I noticed between Doug and Scott, look, I don't know how it's going to work out, but you could feel a positive energy in the room between the two of them. You could. Scared me for a second that I got the wrong thing. Positive energy in the room. Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. A lot of air. Use the air this weekend for the first time this year, the air conditioning.
Already?
Yeah. Okay. No, because it was like
upstairs.
It was like 81 in my house. What? Hold on. Is that
in the house?
Yeah. No, not outside. No, in the house. Oh, I thought you were. What do you keep your thermostat at? I'm curious.
94. No. Comfortable.
I'll bet you and I have different.
No, it's my wife and I that have different body temperatures. She needs it warm.
She needs it warm, but you like warm.
Yeah, outside air.
Why is it? This is such a weird thing. And by the way, I know I'm generalizing. I do. I know I'm generalizing, and I apologize, but I feel like this is a good generalization. Why is it that every woman I know, my wife especially, wants it, enjoys hotter, right? And also shower. Like if I get in the shower after it literally will scald me. Is that it? Is that a thing? Is that
my lines up with you?
Every husband that I know says the same thing. I want to meet the lady that is like, no, I actually like it at 70 degrees in the house. I hate heat, and I like to take a lukewarm shower sometimes. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're sitting around in their radio show wondering, why are all these men like an ice cube? I don't know. Bottom line is, how does American Energy factor into that? Because whether you need your temperature high, low, or anything in between, I'll tell you this much. I ran that air conditioner for a little bit. My house cooled down about an hour. I had to have it on for an hour. That was it. Having that new air conditioner was amazing. Get yourself one, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Or check them out at theaeway.com. We're right back with Leading Off next.
Live and local.
With everything 49ers.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco! La Paul George went out and caught the ball. Touchdown!
The 49ers play on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Let's do it.
Leading off, the three top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number one.
Out to Buddy Hield. He is just not missing in Houston. Buddy Hield has the liftoff here. The Warriors lead by 10, 80-70. Hield is 7 of 9 from 3. He's got 25 points.
I said it last night. It's actually funny. And I know, I'm mostly screwing around. But at this point, you just it makes it a lot easier if you just do what I do, which is we made a deal in the relocation, as I've said. We made a deal keeping the team, and it's just trolling now. Because I went from watching Tyrese Halliburton lead the Pacers to an upset win in Cleveland in game one over the number 1 seed Cavs, the second best team by record in basketball. And then immediately followed it up with, no, I didn't watch Steph Curry lead the Warriors to a game 7 victory after losing 2 in a row. I didn't watch Jimmy Butler lead the Warriors. I didn't watch Brandon Pajemski, who had 9 points. I watched Buddy Hield have 22 points in the first half. And I think Steph had 3, something like late in the first half. He went 12 of 15, including 9 of 11 from beyond the arc. And look, you live by the buddy, you die by the buddy. 37 minutes. He had 2 blocks. He had a steal. He had 3 assists. He had 33 points. He had 0 turnovers. Buddy Hield played the game of his life, not his highest scoring game of his life, the game of his life in the absolute most clutch situation. And no, I'm not pining for Buddy Hield to come back. I understand the playing field here. It's just between watching Marvin Bagley go 8 for 8 in a meaningless Memphis Grizzlies playoff loss to Davion Mitchell balling out in Miami, to Tyrese Halliburton, now Buddy Hield. It's just silly. It's just silly, and it all ties back to the Kings for me.
Yeah, and Buddy, I mean, he literally did save them. I mean, they were in the first half. Neither team was really scoring very well. Buddy was the one scoring for them. It was actually Buddy and Draymond in the first half. You're like, this is probably a good sign for the Warriors. And then Buddy didn't do as much in the second half, but late when they needed a couple more big shots, there he was. He did make that big block late in the game too. And part of it, I wondered, they hadn't been playing. He'd been starting. He hadn't been playing a ton.
Right.
I almost wondered if it was a sneaky help to them that Gary Payton was sick. Because I know they've been starting. They both have been starting, but now it just felt like there were more minutes for Buddy to have, and then Buddy produced. So
isn't that funny how that works for the Warriors? Yeah. Is that, oh, this guy's sick, and the guy who's picking up all those minutes, oh, he just has the game of his life.
Right.
Warriors looked like they were on their way out. I thought the series would go 7. We talked about that after Game 4. Then they lost 5 and 6. But then after Game 6, it's like, please don't count out the Warriors here. This would be so Warrior-ish for them to look old and tired, and they can't stop Steven Adams and Alperen Sengun. Well, those two were combined minus 21. And Steven Adams getting 26 minutes. Sengun was 9 of 23. Draymond Green did, of course, a great job on him defensively, and the Rockets just, you say the lights were too bright for them, but the experience trumps a lot. 103-89, your final. The Warriors advance to take on. Now we've got Anthony Edwards versus Steph Curry. We got Rudy Gobert, Draymond Green.
Yes.
Yeah, we're getting some drama in the second round. Cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
2 seconds left to go in Denver. There's the horn. Nuggets win it 120-101 in Game 7. Bring on Oklahoma City. And Steve Ballmer can take that cute little wall he brought to Ball Arena and get right back to Los Angeles.
That's funny.
That cute little
wall. Yeah, Ballmer flew out, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 fans and got them, Clippers fans, and got them seats somehow right behind, kind of like made his own little mini wall at Ball Arena. Well, that didn't work. That didn't work out. And this was never even wasn't a game, dude.
No, disappointing for the Clippers for sure on many levels, how they just didn't compete.
I'm not surprised that the Nuggets beat the Clippers at home. I am surprised. Look, they beat them by 19. It wasn't that close.
Right. 19 was like at the end.
It was 30 at some point in the fourth. I'm not surprised about that. I'm not surprised the Nuggets advanced. What I am surprised about, and I don't have an explanation for it. You watched the game, I'm sure, Chris. I imagine you did. Somebody has to explain to me. The one thing I did not expect, especially in a game 7, was James Harden's performance. I didn't see it coming. 2 of 8 in 35 minutes, 7 points in a game 7, big game, James. Didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. 100% saw it coming. Golly, look, I never want to make it sound personal. James Harden might be the nicest guy. Not only can I not stand his style of play, I obviously have to acknowledge he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Of course he is. I hate his style of play. I will be happy when he retires. He infects other players and other teams like Neil Young infected Pearl Jam. I can't stand it. But also, I need somebody to, I'm going to make a statement, and whether it's you or somebody else, I need somebody to prove this statement wrong. James Harden is the biggest shrinking violet in NBA history. Somebody give me another player that has been in more positions, that has been in more game sevens or clutch moments when it counts, and who has turned. We'll give you the numbers later. Just if there's one thing, obviously I was being facetious earlier. If there's one thing you can count on, it's that James Harden will not show up in a game 7 or in an elimination game. He's terrible. And I'm not celebrating it or mocking it. It truly is interesting. You had a healthy Kawhi in the playoffs. You're out in the first. Like, when is that? Come on.
Yeah. I mean, they had healthy Kawhi. They had healthy James. They had Zubats having a career
yes.
year. Norman Powell. They had all the pieces to make a run. I actually thought they could.
Yeah. So did I. The defense especially.
Yeah.
Woof. We'll take a break. When we come back, Doug Christie speaks to the press. We've got audio and some early takeaways. We'll get to that now.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See full details and disclaimer.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
I'm Sia, and I support Humane World for Animals. Together, we have created a new version of Peter Gabriel's beautiful song, Salisbury Hill, to celebrate Humane World for Animals and everything they do. Enjoy the song and join us in helping Humane World for Animals end animal cruelty.
Grab your things, I've come to take you.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See full details and disclaimer.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. Classes start May 14th. Apply now and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
People are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, from Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because they've seen for themselves the huge selection and the best prices at SacSuperstore.com. Good luck finding a lower price anywhere else. And if you do, they'll match it. It's as simple as that. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where a handshake still means something. Open until 10 o'clock and centrally located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. And online at sacssuperstore.com. The guaranteed lowest price and the best selection of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeeps, and Rams. sacssuperstore.com.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is only a few weeks away with Bailey Zimmerman. Plus Billy Currington, Nate Smith, Ernest, and more. Friday and Saturday, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo. Don't miss pop-up stores, food trucks, line dancing, and more. Country in the Park, celebrating 25 years, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Goldfield Trading Post, Java City, and Elemental Wine. Get tickets and more at CITPFest.com.
Memorial Day is the unofficial beginning of summer and a time to reflect on the blessings we enjoy living in this country. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At Naturewood's Memorial Day sale, you choose the offer. It's like 2 sales in one. Take 10% off regular prices or get 24 months of no-interest financing with payments on approved credit. Then you can choose from living rooms, sofas, sectionals, dining rooms, bedrooms, home offices, and so much more. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, you can shop and save big on the best selection of quality furniture, including Sacramento's largest selection of furniture made in the USA. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishings. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for that water wheel.
Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
All right. Chat needs to just calm down. They're all up in arms because the first few minutes of the show is not being streamed. So they're all, we will not have this. We will not have this outrage. And somebody brought up a good point. Like, I get killed for it. Chris gets killed the most. I get killed the second most. Literally no one blames you, which is funny. As I explained in there,
it was my fault.
It was you. Yeah, they don't believe me. You came in this morning and said, you know what? Chat needs to be put in their place.
I unplugged it.
You unplugged it, and we had to wait until you decided to plug it back in.
Just kidding.
Yeah, like Johnny.
Yeah,
like Johnny from Airplane.
My bad.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe next time, whatever.
You better.
Yeah, you bet. Here's Doug Christie and Scott Perry as they visited with the media on Friday.
First and foremost, thank you to Scott. I will say that I appreciate you all for being here today. You guys, a lot of you know me, and you know how.
Hey, sorry, Doug. Hold on. Was that applause at the beginning?
Sounded like
Is that normal? Honestly, I'm not trolling or making fun. Is that normal?
It can be. Sometimes I know in the past.
I just can't remember.
Sometimes they have season ticket holders and some staff that show up. So
then okay.
The media is not.
Yeah,
that's
nice. That's nice. Hey, Doug. Sorry.
How I feel about this. I am humbled, honored, and grateful to be sitting beside Scott in this position right now. I want to thank my family. I want to thank King's leadership, Scott, our players, and an incredible fan base to trust me with this beautiful jewel, because that's how I envision it. You've heard me say it before, but we have unfinished business. And that's my mindset going into what we're approaching right now. This game will leave a hole in your heart. It will. It's difficult. It'll take something from you. And the odd thing about that is it's the only thing that can fill that void. So with that, I accept the challenge, the opportunity, and I'm truly, truly grateful to be sitting here right now. Thank you.
Hole in my heart.
Yep.
That can only be filled by you. Remember that song? Big hit. It was a 2-hit wonder.
I don't.
90s. The first hit was More Than Words.
Really? They had another?
Yeah, Hole in My Heart by Extreme. He was wearing a Boston Bruins jersey in the video. Anyways, that's probably not what you want to hear.
No.
Hey.
More Than Words is a jam, though.
More Than Words is phenomenal. New Betancourt and Gary Cherone went on to be lead singer of Van Halen for a while.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. You're just lame.
Let's just talk about that. Look, it was the good on them having a presser, answer some questions. And I would expect to hear all of that from Doug. And I don't mean that in a negative way at all. Like, he is pumped. He's ready to go. It is unfinished business. I think all of those players from the 02 era feel that way, that there's unfinished business. That didn't work out well. I literally heard that is verbatim what Vlade said when he took over as GM. And you just hope that it goes better for Doug.
Yeah, and I know we've said this before, but I don't know of any other way to kind of capture it for people out there. That if Doug got the job with the Minnesota Timberwolves and won a championship, that would be more of Doug's championship as a head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves with the team. I mean, I'm not saying Doug's the only one. Doug wants this one here for him, but I bet on the scale, it's for Chris, it's for Bobby, it's for Jay Will, it's for Lawrence Funderburk, it's for the fans, it's for Rick Adelman, it's for, I mean, the list would be so entirely long, and he's basically referring to the hole in his heart being how close they were, how good they were, what it meant to the city, what it meant to him, and I just know working with him in the afternoon for as long as we did, that every time we talk to somebody around that 2002 team, it was they aren't done with it. And, you know, for all of us, turn the page, you can just tell they aren't.
No.
And sometimes when he talked to Weber and they were on together and I was just basically a fly on the wall, I still think it's one of the most amazing pieces of audio and radio I've heard. And I was listening, Dave, to their therapy.
Yeah.
And you could just tell, like, Doug, I think, started to ask about it. Then Webb went deep. Then Doug was going to, and I was like, they were basically to the point of tears. And you're like, man, they're not over it. And that's okay. So that's what Doug is chasing. And yeah, Zach LaVine would get a title in Sabonis. Whoever's on this team.
It's different.
That's what I think Doug is trying to say. Again, if you want a championship, he's other places. He's with Toronto. He's with, you know, some other teams, the Knicks, whatever. Like this is where it would mean the most to him, and certainly in this community would be unbelievable. So that's what he's chasing. Now they are a long way from that, But yeah, that's what I think he's referring to.
Just out of curiosity, do we still have that interview somewhere?
Yeah,
we should clip that up here soon. I think that'd be interesting, especially in summer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be interesting to hear the new head coach of the Sacramento Kings and Chris Webber talking about that. Now, that being said, no one is ever going to doubt, or at least I certainly am not going to doubt, Doug's commitment, Doug's passion, where Doug's heart is. As we talked about a little bit on Friday, I don't know how long the list is of people who would rather coach in Sacramento and win a championship in Sacramento over any of the other 29 teams. But I'll bet you can count on it on one hand, and Doug is at the top of that list. So I'm sure Bobby Jackson would be in there as well. And now we have the two biggest basketball programs in Sacramento, headed up by Doug Christie and Mike Bibby. So there's no doubt there. Now, and by the way, over the weekend, Jay Triano is gone. That's no surprise. A couple other assistants are gone. A couple were retained. You heard that Mike Woodson, former King, former NBA head coach, is the favorite to land the lead assistant job. I think our guys Sam and Anthony Slater, the Athletic, are the ones that broke that story, I believe. If I'm wrong, I apologize. So it'll be interesting to see his group of assistants come together. I would have no problems. And again, I know some might say, here we go, another Kings retread. I don't count Mike Woodson. I mean, he was a King, a longtime King, but that to get that experience around Doug with people that buy in, look, that's tough, man. In any business, you know, like what's going on in Phoenix right now, where they demoted James Jones from GM and promoted one of his guys to the job. Look, that's going to be fine this year. I expect a lot of that has to do with James Jones is still on a pretty new contract, but in the long run, that rarely works when you have an underling, for lack of a better term, surpass you. But when you bring in new people and all they know is you're the head guy, it's a lot easier. You got to pick them. Yeah. They know from day one what your style is, what you expect, what the culture you're trying to build is. So it will be very interesting to see the names that come in, and I imagine there will be at least 4 or 5 others to fill out that assistant role.
Yeah, I mean, he's got. I mean, there's so many coaches nowadays, so he's got a lot of people to fill that role. And back to saying all the things we did about Doug as far as the passion, the desire, the want to make this all work here. He wanted that this last season too.
Yes, he did.
So you've got to have the players.
Yes,
you've got to have the roster, and I think that. I mean, to me, the bigger chore is for Scott Perry.
I agree.
For Doug Christie.
I agree.
Now they work together. It's a partnership, but I think Scott has more work ahead of him. Now Doug has his share, but wouldn't you think it's more on Scott?
I 100% do, because we if you agree with us that this roster is again imbalanced, there's a lot of stuff on this roster that's not going to work. If Scott Perry hands this team over to him and it largely looks the same and says, okay, run it back, on one hand, he's going to be familiar with all those players. There's going to be that familiarity there. And there's going to be some times when this team, look, you could roll this exact team out next year, and I would hate that. But I would also acknowledge there's going to be times where they're going to look pretty good.
Sure.
There's going to be, sure. They're absolutely just like this year. But it's the overall that you worry about. Doug took over in a very dramatic way, in a very rough situation, not just Mike Brown. And we'll talk about this a little bit more, I think, but it wasn't just the Mike Brown firing, which was bungled. It was the Aaron Fox drama. It was adding in Zach LaVine and friends. And it was knowing your general manager. They knew Monty was gone. You had this whole thing go on. Let's just say Doug hasn't coached the Sacramento Kings team in ideal circumstances.
Right.
So the optimistic look would be you hope that's going to improve next year with things calm down. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's get into some baseball. Safe or out? How about those A's? How about those Giants? Both above 500, both doing quite well. We'll speak on it next.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Match the Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, when the A's beat the Rangers in Arlington to kick off the most recent road trip, with J.P. Sears getting his 4th win, the A's improved to 15-14, the latest in a season they've been over 500 since 2021. Can they contend this year? Well, as we close the book on April, the American League West is the tightest division in baseball. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Rock the Bells presents LL Cool J. Live in concert. LL Cool J. Saturday Night Tag, the venue at Thunder Valley with DJ C-Trip. LL Cool J. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss LL Cool J live.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Three for Madness at 7:13. We'll get into the Nuggets and Clippers in the next segment. The Ballad of James Harden. Big game, James.
How would that song go?
James Harden sucks. That's the whole song. Thank you.
I was going to say it starts off strong and whimsical, and then just ends
not a lot rhymes with Harden. Speaking of farting, like what you just did, Christopher Darden.
Christopher Darden is your second.
I'm just saying. I'm just a former attorney from.
Hey, who's he? Garden.
Why wasn't that the first one? James Harden tills his failure garden when it comes to it's a garden of failure in the playoffs.
I thought Christopher Darden was the one.
Yeah, you thought that was work that into the song. Hey, listen. Okay, and by the way, I was waiting for this because somebody hit me with a tweet on it over the weekend. Russ Dog 316, the other Russ, who I like. Westbrook. I like. Kings fans, would you want James Harden on the Kings as the point guard? I had somebody ask me that over the way. Please, just can you burn that entire thought with fire? I swear to God, that would be the ultimate troll. Here's the thing: if James Harden came to the Kings, this show would be weird because you and Chris would have to talk about Kings, and then I'd take this. I can't do it.
Your 58 wins Sacramento Kings,
doesn't matter.
Led by James Harden. Nope. How would you do?
More like 74-8.
Good point.
The 80-2.
The 8 games he went to Vegas to take off, they lost.
That thought alone makes me so angry. And I want to be. I want to be happy.
Get the 5 players you like the least, and that leads them to a title.
I mean, I take that. Obviously, I don't care.
James Harden?
You can have like Genghis Khan, James Harden, the guy, the Coen brothers, and
left.
And I'm trying to think of somebody else I don't like. And I'm not doing the whole like Hitler thing. I'm being like fake. Don't like.
Because you like him.
Safer out.
Question.
That's out.
Yeah,
that's very out.
The Athletics won their 3rd straight series, taking 2 of 3 from the Marlins. Now they host the first place Mariners for 3. Safer out. The A's will be in first place after that series.
That's a great question. Let's take a look at the standings right now. That's first and second place. 3 games against the Mariners.
How far back are they?
They are 2 games back.
Got a sweeperoo.
They're hosting Seattle for, or excuse me, I apologize. Wait, no, yeah, they are hosting Seattle for 3. First place Seattle for 3. First place Yankees for 3. First place LA in LA. we'll talk about this later, but third place San Francisco is it, dude.
Exactly.
This is just an absolute murderer's row over the next 12 games. That is a big. I hope I'm wrong. That's out. I look. They might get 2 or 3. That's what I'm hoping for. Just keep winning series, but even 2 or 3, you're still a game out.
Yeah, they're playing well. They're doing good things. They had a terrible loss on Saturday. Our guy Mason Miller, got blown up.
Dude,
in the bullpen. Oh man,
he got
that was in the bag. I'm like, here's Mason. This is over. It was over.
A walk-off Granny Poppins. Yeah,
that won't happen much, but it does happen to relievers. It happened to him. That was rough. But they got the next one on Sunday. They are playing well, and yeah, if you could just keep chipping away, I don't think they'll sweep them. So I'm hopeful for 2 of 3, but I will say out.
The crazy thing was Mason Miller's ERA was like negative 100, and now it's 4.97.
Trade him.
That's what happens. 5 earned for that dude. Hopefully his biggest blow up of the year.
I think it will be.
Question D.
The Giants followed through and took 3 out of 4 from the Rockies. How will they do against the Cubs?
The
Cubs, yeah. Said they had to do 3 or 4, then they lose the first, which they should have. That should have been a sweep. But you know what? You say 3 or 4, that's fine. Take it. They did what they did. Every team's going to win one. Every team's going to lose one, and then it's what is it? You win 81, you lose 81. It's the other 81. Nope, that's not it. That is the way. No, there's
get it.
Hold on, 50, and then carry the 1. Hey, I got it. You win 54, you lose 54. It's what you do with the other 54 that matters, Jason.
Okay.
And that was just one of the.
Are the Cubs the other 54?
Well, the Cubs are 21-14. The Cubs are pretty good. The Cubs got themselves an offense. I think I'd like to say they go into Wrigley and make something happen, Captain. This smells suspiciously. You just ask me what I think. This smells suspiciously like a Cubs take 2 or 3. Not a disaster, but it's what happens.
Yeah, I mean, look, I still think the Giants are off to a good start. They have a good team. They have some pretty good things going. This could be a good test for them. I think the Giants have responded. They've definitely beaten the teams they should, which has been a good thing. This would be another measurement for them. See where they really stack up against a National League that's pretty good.
I remembered on Friday I wanted to tell you guys something on Monday, and I never remember these things, and it just came into my head. Okay, I was hitting balls with our good friend Tom Morgan.
Okay,
and remember a few weeks ago, it was the Aaron Gordon putback. Remember we were talking about how we wish we had a ref on call.
Yeah.
Did you know that there's a referee that lives in Sacramento that, including this year, has done like 8 Final Fours? He was on the range with he's a good friend of Tom's, and we just started talking. He's like, yeah, listen to your show. Yeah, because he'll show me a schedule for the year, which, by the way, they don't regionalize them. Like,
oh, I think I know.
You know who? And so I got his info. He's like a big time college ref.
Is that the last name?
Yes.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, he said his name. He goes, you know who I am? And on my kids, I'm not lying, because I had no idea who he was. I said, are you the bail bonds guy? He goes, no. Well, okay. And then, he, we talked for a while. Super nice guy. He said, yeah, you want to bring me on? Whatever. We talked about I actually told him about that segment. So I wanted, and he said, well, look, unless there's something in the NBA I don't know about. He goes, yeah, it's as soon as it leaves. The cylinder doesn't matter. It's as soon as it leaves. Anyways, we now have a ref on call.
There we go.
And besides that, in addition to that, I should say, it'd be kind of cool to have this summer. That's what we could put in the book. Somebody come on and talk about reffing Final Four games.
Sure.
That's pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
Question 3.
Speaking of the Giants, they'd be in first place in any other division in baseball, but they're third in the NL West. Is this why the wild card was created?
Isn't that crazy? They'd be either in sole possession or full on first place in any other division, tied for first place. And they're not. And you're right. That is exactly why you have the wild card. And by the way, the Giants aren't the reason the wild card was created, but they're kind of the reason the wild card was created. I'll take you back to 2003. No wild card. The Giants, 161. 100 wins, 61 losses, and they finish exactly, what was it? Was it because they a half game back of the break? Am I getting this right?
1993?
93.
Oh, is it 93?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. This is weird because I'm in 2003.
Yeah, it's 93.
Why did the Braves finish 101 and 61 and the Giants finished 161?
I don't know.
I got to go back and research that. That's what's throwing me. 161 versus 101 and 61. Why did the Giants play one less? They must have gotten like a rain out or something they just did because they finished 15 and a half ahead of the Dodgers. Yeah, excuse me. I was off a decade. Only off a decade, but yeah, 1993 when the Giants, who I want to say had 103 wins. Maybe they didn't. It was 100 and something. And
I got right here.
Yeah.
They were 103 and 59, and the Braves were 104 and 58.
And they missed the playoffs. Yeah. That's why you have a wild card. And that's why the wild card is so great. First off, it's more postseason baseball. Secondly, that way you don't have there are a few things in sports I hate most than a really, really good team missing out on making the playoffs because of geography.
Well, I think we're getting closer and closer in every sport to basically getting rid of divisions. I mean, it just seems like it, right? We could just take the best records all the way through.
Thank God rivalries will still be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what your rivalry is? A really good team that you have to play.
Yeah.
That's in your way. That's a great rivalry. We'll take a break. Jason's going to give you a nice word about overhead. And then we'll start the second hour already. The Nuggets blow out the Clippers in Game 7. Not a surprise as you've been following. We'll explain next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
I am going to give you that nice word about the folks from the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento because they were so great to us. They've been great to many people, and they can be great to you as well. We have brand new doors from the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. Needed it for our garage. We had old antiquated doors that we literally had a lock that had I had to open the garage door, then lift it open. Yeah, now we've got remotes and smooth rolling, sleek looking doors that we picked from the showroom. They look awesome. Curb appeal is much better for the house. A return on investment, by the way. Did you know it's one of the most cost-effective upgrades to increase your home value? And so for us, though, it was really the functionality, the ability to get into our door through just pressing a button on the remote, on the app, on the keypad on the side of the garage door. And again, functionality was great for us. But they have done this for 70-plus years in our region. So effective. And now that spring is here, it's a time to kind of do your own home survey. How's your home looking? How are your garage doors looking, or garage door? And is it maybe a fix that's all that's needed? Well, you can call them. They will help you. 916-421-3747. Again, encourage you to go to the showroom and see for yourself and meet the great people. It's at 6756 Franklin Boulevard in Sacramento. The Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Monday. It's an impact day due to the wind. The wind will be strong and gusty on occasion with gusts up to 40 miles per hour. It'll be a mild morning start because of the wind. Afternoon highs today a bit warmer, reaching the upper 80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's about time they
fixed that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
Made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
Advanced Infusion Center, where we prioritize your comfort and well-being. Whether you're managing a chronic condition or seeking specialized IV therapy, our state-of-the-art center offers tailored solutions to meet your needs. Advanced Infusion Center's dedicated healthcare professionals are here to ensure your safety and provide personalized care. Conveniently located in Sacramento and Yuba City with flexible scheduling options. Experience a new standard in infusion therapy. Visit Advanced Infusion Center today at advancedinfusion.com.
At SMUD, we power local business with incentives on clean energy equipment, tools to manage electricity usage and save money, tailored solutions from dedicated strategic account advisors, and 50% lower rates than neighboring utilities, all while doing more for the planet with clean energy solutions, savings, reliability, personalized service, clean energy, helping local businesses thrive. That's our clean power promise. Learn more at smud.org.
Have you ever dreamed of shopping for the perfect jewelry from home? Well, now it's possible, and you can even build your credit. PrestigiOJewelers.com now offers online shopping, making us the premium credit jeweler nationwide. With an exceptional selection of fine jewelry, from engagement rings and gold chains to sparkling diamond earrings and much more. With over 30 years of experience, Prestigio guarantees you'll find exactly what you're looking for. It's fast and easy. Once approved, you'll receive a guaranteed credit line from $400 to $10,000. All you need is to be 18 years or older, have a valid form of ID, be employed for a minimum of 6 months, and a bank account for automatic payments. PrestigioJewelers.com is the perfect way to establish or reestablish your credit with interest rates at only 2.25% per month. We are here to help you with monthly reporting to all major credit bureaus. The perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. Visit us online at PrestigioJewelers.com or at one of our locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno. Enter code SACTOWNSPORTS at checkout to save 10%.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the program. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, Chris Verlide. We'll take you all the way through to 10 a.m. and then Alan Styles. He has a lot of talent in piles. I don't know. I've just top my head. I mean, yeah, what am I going to do? Denver played the Clippers, and it was a blowout.
2 seconds left to go in Denver. There's the horn. Nuggets win it 120-101 in Game 7. Bring on Oklahoma City. And Steve Ballmer can take that cute little wall he brought to Ball Arena and get right back to Los Angeles.
I like that. I like that call. That's a very good call. Yeah, it was a massive blowout filled with Aaron Gordon reverse dunk alley-oop. Jokic didn't have a great game by his standards.
Fine.
I mean, we talked about it last week. Somehow, I'd love to see stats when Jokic is below a certain threshold on points, rebounds, and assists. I'll bet you it's actually pretty good when those other guys get involved. And we mentioned before, Jamal Murray, Jokic is, either the MVP or the runner-up. But if Jamal Murray is, they're not going to win a championship or even get close without Jamal Murray being good. And he's like that, you talk about X factors. He is 100% an X factor. Jokic, 16 points, 10 boards, 8 assists, and 3 steals. That's a terrible night for him on 6 of 14. It was actually a very balanced attack led by Aaron Gordon with 22, Christian Brown with 21, Jamal Murray, 16, and Michael Porter Jr. with 15. Just a very, very balanced attack. Westbrook had 16 off the bench. So,
yeah, again, not having a dog in the fight, but when you watch a series that for the most part was so compelling, so good, so back and forth, and you get to what we all like, Game 7, anything can happen.
Game 7.
Are we going to get like the Game 4, the Gordon game winner at the buzzer? Like, are we going to get something like that? Is someone going to go and score 50 like Steph did in this building a few years ago? Like, so what are we going to see in Game 7? And then you get that where you're just like, man, Clippers, like, if you lose, you lose, but this is how you go out. And credit to the Nuggets. Look, they're the one that won. They're the one that advanced. They're the one that made it that kind of game. But it had not been that series like that.
No.
And then you get that for the decider, which was, to me, just disappointing, to be honest.
It was disappointing. You wanted to see it. And you and I said, probably the team that can give OKC maybe, and we'll see, the best run for their money might have been the Clippers.
I thought they could, but we'll see. Maybe it is Denver. We'll see.
It is no secret to anybody who listens that again, not personal, I can't stand James Harden's game.
Right.
I can't stand his game. He's not a winning player. If there was an empty calories award like clutch points, it should be a statue of James Harden. He is, to me, the emptiest caloric player in NBA history. But don't take my word for it. I'm just hating. I'm going to run you through some history.
Okay.
I know you know this, but it also might surprise you all put together. In 2012, James Harden's first ever NBA Finals as the reigning NBA Sixth Man of the Year. He shot 37.5%, and he didn't score in double digits in 3 of his 5 games. In 2013, his first ever playoff series as a Houston Rocket. First series as the man. Rockets are down 3-0 to the Thunder. Harden responds in Game 4 by turning the ball over 10 times, shooting 4 of 12, scoring 15 points. 2015, down 3-2 to the Clippers. James Harden is having a stinker. Shoots 5 of 20 in an elimination game. He is minus 21 in a game his team won by 12. He didn't even play the fourth quarter because Kevin McHale stuck with Corey Brewer. 2015, same year, down 3-1, facing elimination versus the Warriors. Harden scores 14 points on 2 of 11 shooting and has 12 turnovers. 2017, series tied 2-2. Spurs and Rockets matched up. Rockets lose Game 5 in overtime. Harden played fantastic. Series goes back to Houston for Game 6. An undrafted Jonathan Simmons replaces Kawhi Leonard in the starting lineup. James Harden, seizes the moment with 10 points on 18% shooting, 6 turnovers, 6 fouls, and the Rockets lost by 39. 2018. Rockets go up 3-2 on the Warriors. Chris Paul and Andre Iguodala are both hurt. Remember the hamstring. They probably would have won that series if it wasn't for the Paul hamstring. In Game 6, Harden has 9 turnovers. For Game 7, they go back to Houston, and that's where they missed the 27 straight threes and lost the series. 2020, tied 3-3. Rockets up against the Thunder in round 1. We're in the bubble. In Game 7, Harden has 17 points, shooting 27% from the field, but the Rockets held on and won due to a big Harden block. We're going to be fair here in advance. In round 2, they go down 2-1 to the Lakers in a must-win Game 4. Harden shoots 18% from the floor. 2022, round 2, Heat Sixers tied at 2. Game 5 on the road. Harden has 14 points, shoots 38% from the field. In Game 6 back in Philly, he has 11 points, shot 9 total times in the game, despite essentially playing the entire fourth quarter. He took 1 shot, did not draw a single foul. 2023, Philly's up 3-2 versus Boston. Game 6 is at home with a chance to close. The Sixers are up 2 going into the fourth. James Harden takes over with 0 points in the fourth. Shot 25% overall in the game, 13 points. In Game 7, he scores 9 points on 27% shooting, is minus 30. This year, we just watched Game 7. 7 points, took 8 shots. Now, Jason, James Harden also played 2 NCAA tournament games. In the round of 64, they actually won that. He was 1 of 8 in 34 minutes. His team won, Arizona State 66-57. In the round of 32, they lost. He was 2 of 10 in 40 minutes. I don't know how much more evidence one could have to say find me a player in NBA history that has had such a decorated statistical career with absolutely no meat behind it that continually shrinks And in my opinion, completely destroyed the Philadelphia process when he got there. And now teaming up with Kawhi Leonard is screwing Kawhi at the end of Kawhi's career.
Yeah, what's weird about, all those are obviously they're factual. These are all what happened. I'm guessing in a lot of those series he was good in games 1 through 5.
Sure, absolutely.
Other ones. So you're like, okay, you have the ability. He is a Hall of Famer. He's a very good player.
Yes.
I don't know what happens. I don't have an answer besides the moment getting too big for. I don't know. Obviously there's other defenders out there, but there's other defenders out there that are trying to scheme against him in these other games, and he does fine. That is an amazing list, and it's a wide variety of teams. It's different teams he's been on. It's different roles he's been in.
Yep.
And the results have all come up that way.
I'm going to take you back real quick. This is Brian Damaris. He works for Bally Sports, covering the Clippers, does their TV broadcast, and or maybe it wasn't the Clippers. I think it might have been the other. I'm not sure who it was. I think he's a Clippers guy. Anyways, this is the famous. He really sums it all together when it comes to James Harden. This is from, I want to say, this is from last year.
Ask the producer to pipe this into the Clippers locker room so I can talk.
Oops, sorry.
To you, James. I hope you're taking notes. I'm telling you in advance, you're welcome for the wisdom I'm about to spew. Because listen, I get on my knees every night and pray for someone to believe in me, like Daryl Morey believed in you. You wanted a certain coach, they brought in Mike D'Antoni. You want to play a certain style, they played it. You wanted Dwight Howard, they brought him in and got rid of him when you were tired of him. You wanted Chris Paul, they brought him in and got rid of him when you were tired of him. They brought in your old friend Russell Westbrook. You want to go to Vegas on off days? They looked away. You wanted the team to stay over so you could go out at night. They changed the schedule, and it didn't work. And you know what? You said, I'm going to break up with my whoopee. Not good enough. I see the bright lights in New York. I want to go there. My old pal, Kevin Durant. It's going to work. The big three. And all after 1 year, you wanted out. You realized, oh, my gosh, I took this guy for granted, the guy that believed in me. I went back with Daryl Morey. They traded Ben Simmons for you. How did they pull that off? And you know what? You went there, and you got a partner who got the MVP. He won the MVP. And what did you say afterwards? You said, they didn't hand me the reins. You're the point guard. You were holding the reins. And what did you do when you had the reins? You scored 9 points in Game 7 against Boston. You blew a 3-2 series lead. So they fired their coach. Not good enough. You broke up with your guy believing you again. You said, the bright lights of L.A., that's where I want to go. Let's see if that works. Listen, James, have you ever had those friends who had bad roommates? Over and over, they complained about their bad roommates. This guy's terrible. The bad roommate here. They never thought to be self-aware enough that they're the bad roommate. They're the problem. Hey, James, you're the problem. If this doesn't work this year in this system with this team, then you're going to go and point fingers at everybody else, and you're going to go back home and you're going to start swiping right for another team, and there's not going to be anybody left. Because, James, you're not the beard. You're not the system. You're the problem.
I'm confused because that is not – whose logo is that? Top right, do you see it? I don't recognize the logo.
I think that's Bally's.
No, next to Bally's, though. What is that? Is that just – okay. And it's Smoothie King. Is that the Pelicans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, I don't know. Although what Brian said there that absolutely scares me. Sends chills down my spine, Jason. There is another team. Of course, there's another team that would take James Harden. And there's actually Kings fans that would support that.
Mm-hmm.
You want that? You want that here? You want that whole thing here?
Do I? No.
I'm just saying in general.
No.
But yeah, do you?
No. Not at this point, no.
I couldn't see him ever coming here.
Why? Just city-wise?
Yeah.
Clubs? Well, he makes $11 million less than Zach LaVine. We'll take a break. Just say no. When we come back, 3 for badness. Ex-Kings on the loose. And tonight's second round series begin with what I would imagine are the two favorites now to face off in the finals. Now, the Cleveland lost game 1. It probably already was that way anyways. Oklahoma City and Boston. We'll get some basketball next.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, athletics, and Republic FC with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
By the way, somebody thought they'd get me on something on the text line at 916-339-1140. Hey, Dave, you have to pick one. James Harden or Draymond Green. Who do you pick on the Kings? Are you kidding? I would walk to San Francisco, put Draymond Green on my shoulders, and walk all the way back on 80.
Yelling, turkey sausage.
100,000% before I would want James Harden on this team. That's not even a good question. I'm not look, I can dislike Draymond Green, and I've said it almost every time we talk about him, but if he was on the Kings, sure, he'd frustrate. Sure, there'd be times he yells, you'd be like, shut up, Draymond. But Draymond Green is actually a really good example of an anti-James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
Just so many of his contributions don't show up on the stat sheet. It's all, if James Harden is empty calories, Draymond Green is protein. he is the photo negative of James Harden's career when it comes to winning basketball. All right, 3 for Madness, question 1.
Tyrese Halliburton led the Pacers to an upset of 1-seed Cleveland on the road yesterday. Does it still sting a little?
Yeah, but I will admit this. It stings more because of where the Kings are at. If the Kings were, let's go back to when the Kings were the 3 seed. The whole thing was like, hey, look, both teams won the trade. It's fine. I hope the Pacers do well. I'd love to see them in the finals. That'd be amazing, you know. But now the Pacers are once again relevant. Tyrese Halliburton, relevant. They just upset Cleveland in game 1, led by Tyrese Halliburton, who took over at the end of the last series late. And we're sitting here on the outside. You know, we are once again, Randy from A Christmas Story, in a blizzard, looking in on everybody drinking hot chocolates and having a great time around Christmas. And we're the kids, you know, wiping the circle on the window and looking in the window of relevancy while we shiver on the outside. And Tyrese is right there leading everybody. And, you know, here comes Santa Claus. Yeah. That's where we're at. So, yeah, it stings.
Yeah, I don't know that it stings for me in that way, in the sense that, like, to me, the Halliburton Sabonis trade, like, they're both really good players. And nothing about what Tyrese Halliburton personally is doing is surprising to me. Now, the team is having good success, and he's a big part of it. I think I go back more to, like, of the things that would sting was, and this is now even further back, but, like, the difference between Bagley and Luka, or the difference between Bagley and anyone else in that draft, was so dramatic that the Kings got it so wrong. Now, some people may say the Kings got this trade wrong. I don't really think so. But Halliburton is great, and his team is playing well. So, I don't know. I've moved on from it, but I get it why some would still hang on to it. But I just think it's not surprising to me, I guess. I was surprised that the Pacers made the conference finals last year.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, when Halliburton's successful, I don't go, well, that's like, he was good here.
Here's how I look at the Sabonis Halliburton trade now. Okay. Let's say I had a convertible. Mm-hmm. And when I bought the convertible, I was like, oh my God, it's going to be amazing. And this and that, top down.
Easy for you to imagine.
And there's some people that are like, I don't know, man, convertibles, I don't know if that's a good decision. And I'm like, hey, I'm loving it. First, like, year or two, I'm driving it around. It's a beautiful day. I'm playing Ella Fitzgerald at full blast and just having, just
yeah, you are
digging life. Right. And then one day I'm going across a bridge and Dave Matthews' tour bus is above me and it empties all of its contents from its waste tank and it goes and it drips down and 100 pounds of poo land on me and it blinds me and I drive my car off the bridge and I plunge to my death in the water. Was it a bad idea for me to buy a convertible? In retrospect, it was. Had I not had that convertible, I'd probably still be here today. But I bought the convertible. I got Dave Matthews Band crap in my face. I drove off a bridge, and now I'm dead. And
just to be clear, that's how you look at the
Sabonis Halliburton trade, because at the time, made sense. Yeah. We got a 3 seed.
Right.
We were imbalanced. We traded away one awesome point guard, kept one awesome point guard. We got the front court guy we needed, one of the best in the game. Made sense. Now, because of many other surrounding issues, well, now, of course, I look back at that trade and wish, yes, I would 100% go back and reverse that trade right now. Because, oh, by the way, we really need a point guard. But who the hell else knows what other band buses are going to be above you dropping crap on your face? You know?
Got it.
You know what I mean.
So Monty McNair is the bus driver?
I think
he got off in Albuquerque.
I mean, I think Monty McNair gets credit for being the bus driver, but I have a feeling somebody else was at the wheel and Monty was in the can. That's what I think. Or maybe Monty was driving the bus, but it was somebody else that opened the hatch with all the gray water in there and dropped it right on my face.
And he said, "It's too much."
Open the tank.
Number 2, please.
Question 2.
That's a good point.
Buddy Hield led the Warriors on the road in a Game 7 victory over Houston. Is that just basketball Jesus trolling Kings fans?
I'm telling you, it's easier to think of it that way. Like at some point, you know, we've all seen the movie where the guy is just like holding his intestines in his hand. And
Are you sure we've seen that movie?
Oh, we've all seen that movie where the guy's just holding his intestines in his hand. They're coming out of his stomach. There's blood everywhere. And he's laughing maniacally. Like at some point, you just go crazy with laughter. You shouldn't be laughing. It's a really bad situation, but you give it up to the absurd. And Kings fans right now at this point, we're all holding our bloody intestines in our hand watching the rest of the NBA. You just got to laugh at it.
Was that on Golden Pond?
As a matter of fact, you're talking about Henry Fonda? Yeah, that classic on Golden Pond. No, it was History of the World Part 1.
Oh.
Yes, but
no.
Look, yes, it's trolling, dude. You and no, that doesn't mean I wish we had Buddy back. Of course not. And he's been here, he's been there, he's been everywhere. But
is it just trolling us, or is it trolling? Let's see, Pelicans, Pacers, Sixers.
I mean, I think somebody asked it on the group chat yesterday. Did the Warriors win the Sabonis Halliburton trade? Because here we go. You saw 2 members of that trade, 2 of the 3 major, actually, Buddy was kind of a throwaway, lead their teams to massive clutch playoff victories. Yeah, dude. I've said it many times. God hates Sacramento. I'm probably gonna get a line of clothing that says that. GHS. God hates Sacramento. Always has. But basketball Jesus hates the Kings. Just does. He's sitting up there, LOL.
What can we do to change that?
I don't know, man.
Think we make a sacrifice.
I would be fine with that. Tell me who or what to sacrifice as long as it's not one of my dogs. Tell me. Tell me what to burn. Sage, rosemary, thyme. Tell me. I'll do it.
Making a stew?
Fine. Tell me how to break this curse. This Lucan, Billion, Thomasian, Malufian, Vivekian curse. How do we do it? I'm there. I'm in, man. Do I got to cut a finger off? Cut a finger off. I'll do it. Just tell me what to do. Tired of seeing Buddy.
Just keep asking you. The words will come.
You think so?
Yeah.
Number 3, please.
Question 3.
Both OKC and Boston are favored by 9.5 in their game 1s tonight. Any upsets you like to pick?
Look, if an upset were to happen tonight, I don't know. Boston. I think that Knicks Celtics line might be a little high. I could see that being a knockout, drag out. So maybe the Knicks surprise them. It wouldn't shock me. And I don't know how much credence I need to put, or Clearwater, or Revival, into that Memphis shellacking before John Morant got hurt. The Thunder, did I read this right? If the Thunder had 9 days off?
Oh, probably. That series ended a long time ago.
So, look, that's a real thing because Cleveland also had some time off. So, could we see what happened to Cleveland happen to OKC? I really don't think so. But one might think that this would be the game for the Nuggets to get.
Yeah, and I guess I would lean there. I know the big question for New York all season, all regular season, doesn't matter much now, but how they now hadn't beaten anybody at the top of the East. Hadn't beaten Boston, hadn't beaten Cleveland. Well, now they get a chance to prove it. So I think if I were picking one, it might actually be that one, but I don't feel good about either one tonight, at least.
Yeah, I don't either.
Are you talking about just tonight or the series overall?
I'm talking about this. Just tonight.
Yeah, no, I don't feel good.
Chris, I got a break, but you just put JR on hold. And we're doing Doug in the next segment. So should I take JR real quick? Should we tell JR thanks?
You can take him real quick.
Okay, I'll take him real quick then. JR, we got to go, but I'm trying to be a nice guy here because we're going to have Doug Christie's interview in the next segment. What's going on, brother?
I'm confused. When did Dave Matthews get into the Golden Palm movie, and when did Henry Fonda actually the loons and his guts falling out? But I'd be willing to sacrifice Dave Deuce Mason.
Oh, there you go.
Well, that makes one of us. No, but somebody did say, that's just mean-spirited, JR. Somebody did ask if I would sacrifice all my at-home gadgets. It depends on what the definition of a gadget is, but yeah, if we're talking about
that's off limits.
Like my video game glasses, yeah.
But the video game system?
But what about if they're saying like a TV? Well, how would I watch the Kings do well?
You have more than one.
Oh, I'd sacrifice a TV. Oh, I'd go to one TV.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. We'll discuss this.
With no remote control. And you have to have the...
Yeah, dude, here's the thing. I'm already living that life in a few rooms because Gracie likes to chew remotes. So because I have Fire Sticks, many of my remote controls are having to bring that sucker up on my phone and do it that way, including our main TV downstairs, because she smells like our hands on the remotes and just thinks it's a chew toy, despite the fact we have 170 chew toys. Nope, she wants the remote. Yeah. We'll take a break. When we come back, Alan visited with Douglas Dale Christie on Friday, fresh off his press conference. Big get for Alan. We'll play that for you next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade Event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New Trade Event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See for full details and display.
Disturbed. Live. Oh, wow. Come on, get down with the 25th anniversary of the 5-time platinum album, The Sickness. 2 sets, 1 show, The Sickness in its entirety, and greatest hits with special guests, Daughtry, and Nothing More. Friday, May 9th, Golden One Center. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Disturbed. Live.
Memorial Day is the unofficial beginning of summer and a time to reflect on the blessings we enjoy living in this country. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At Naturewood's Memorial Day sale, you choose the offer. It's like 2 sales in one. Take 10% off regular prices or get 24 months of no-interest financing with payments on approved credit. Then you can choose from living rooms, sofas, sectionals, dining rooms, bedrooms, home offices, and so much more. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, you can shop and save big on the best selection of quality furniture, including Sacramento's largest selection of furniture made in the USA. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishings. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for that water wheel.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is only a few weeks away with Bailey Zimmerman. Cole Wetzel. Plus Billy Currington, Nate Smith, Ernest, and more. Friday and Saturday, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo. Don't miss pop-up stores, food trucks, line dancing, and more. Country in the Park, celebrating 25 years, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Goldfield Trading Post, Java City, and Elemental Wine. Get tickets and more at CITPFest.com.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
On Sacktown Sports.
Joining us now, get rid of that interim tag. Head coach of your Sacramento Kings, Doug Christie, joins the show. Coach Christie, thank you so much for joining us.
Anytime, guys. Hope all is well.
Hope all is well with you, Coach. Coach, real quick, somebody hopped in because, you obviously used to sit in this chair during this time. I had a texter say, Alan, you got to do the whole interview standing up because Coach used to do his show standing up. Is that true?
Yeah, I did. I'm not a big sitter. I sit too much, and actually, I'm standing up right now, my friend. Yeah, I had them come in and change the mic.
Wow, because I was going to ask that too. I'm like, how the mic don't go that high?
Nah, adjustable arm, and you work it out. But yes, I did. That was one of the things that when I first started, I was like, man, all this sitting is killing me, man. Can I? And they said, yeah, we can do that. So yeah, stand up, my friend.
All right. I'll stretch the legs a little bit. Joined by Coach Doug Christie. Coach, let's start here. The game ends in Golden 1. Obviously, it was a bit of a disappointing end to the season. So much has happened throughout that season. What was your initial feeling on the chances that you'd remain the head coach and get that interim tag removed?
For me, it was more about the process of me doing my work, and I've never tried to get a job since I've been in Sacramento. It's just kind of been the path that has been laid before me, and I try whatever is put in front of me. I try to do it with a passion and a love and a respect for whatever that discipline is, whether it was radio, whether it was TV, whatever it was. And for me, there was 51 games. I put my heart and soul into it. And then at that point, you let it be what it's going to be. And did I want the job? But yeah, of course. There's only 30 of them. And this one is a beautiful jewel. And I love the people. I love the organization. So for me, it was you just kind of do your work, and then from there it's out of your hands. Control what you can control.
Congratulations, by the way, Coach. I should have started off with that. Congratulations, talking to newly named head coach of the Sacramento Kings, Doug Christie. Coach, we've seen this happen with the Nuggets and the Grizzlies, but it happened later on in the season. So because of those 51 games with your coaching staff, is it a difficult situation because you played so many games with them or coached so many games with them when it comes to looking for your coaching staff as you build this thing out? Do you feel any loyalty towards them because of the battles that you went through this past season? And do you feel like it's important to have maybe a former NBA head coach on your roster specifically, or is it just anybody that fits the bill?
I mean, more than anything, you always want the super best people. I love all these guys. I appreciate each and every one of them and all that they've done supporting me along the way. This is a conversation that Scott and I will have as we actively pursue and try to make sure that we are crossing T's and dotting I's. And that's just something that's going to go on as we continue down this path. So that one's hard to say, but the point is, like, I lean on Scott. He's been in this business for a long time, and we will have those conversations in the coming days.
With that being said, what does your summer look like as far as how you'll be communicating with the players and with Scott Perry? What are your goals for the next 5 months from now until training camp?
It's a blur, man. It's not it's going to be nonstop. I've talked to all the players. I communicate with them as much as they will, allow me.
Yep.
But with Scott, we're going to stay in constant communication. I am here. This is, there's work to do. So I'm all in. I like, we sleep when we die, man. We got, this is important to me. I want to see the utmost and the highest level of success here. So I'm here. I will be, at some point, I'm sure, get some sleep and relax and those things. But I got a lot of planning to do, got a lot of things to deal with, and we're going to hit the ground running. And been talking to Scott, and now is daily. We will be in communication to try to make sure that everything is lined up and going the exact direction that we would like it.
No, I mean, I've been in those pre and post game pressers, Coach, and I don't think you've probably slept since December, or at least you haven't gotten that deep REM in a long time. I'm assuming.
No, man, and whether it's my dog wants to lay on my legs or whatever it is, man, it's. But you know what? It goes with the territory.
Mm-hmm.
Every job has its different things, and this one has its things, and I am here for it. The obstacle, I said in the press conference, is the way. So I'm running to it. I'm not running away from it.
There you go. Talking to newly named head coach Doug Christie. Speaking of the summer, Coach, that used to be prime time for you and Domas Sabonis to get your work in. How has that relationship evolved with your change in title, and kind of where is it at now since, things have changed a bit?
Domas called me. We've talked, we text. Tiger had his first soccer game, so we talked about that. We haven't really talked about all of that. It's more about life and just things. But I love him to death. He has been so instrumental in a lot of things that I've done, and just humbled to be able to work with such a great talent. And as far as him and working and all those things, we just have to get together and communicate and talk about it. And his goals, I already know them, but we need to address them from this perspective and making sure that he gets everything that he needs. And I will make sure that happens.
Talking to Coach Doug Christie, no interim anymore. Coach, obviously, you'll watch tape on a game. It's a little tougher to watch tape on a whole season, but as you've maybe had a little bit of time so far to reflect, and with the NBA playoffs going on and how great the first round has been, where do you think that you need to improve as a head coach? You can tell me how you excelled. I think we all know where you excelled and the way that you motivated the guys and everything that we saw from the 7-game winning streak. But the time that you have had to reflect, have there been any parts where you've said, maybe I would have done this differently or that differently, or are you still getting there?
I mean, I think that you do that constantly. Mm-hmm. I mean, even as a player, like, man, I should have shot that. Oh, I should have passed that. Man, I should have advanced the ball. That is the nature of our game. So even on good decisions, I go back and examine them. Decisions that don't go good, why didn't they go good? Because it could have been good, but maybe we didn't execute it. So there's a lot of different things. I kind of address it similar to when I was a player. I remember I used to get this, like, what are you going to work on in the summer? And I'm working on everything.
Right.
Like, that's just who I am and how I go about it. Even the parts that are quote unquote good, I think that I can be better. So that's, that's a whole approach. It's not like one aspect. Like, will there be certain things that as we go along and I talk to Scott and he's like, hey, I want you to look at this part. Yeah, I'm sure that I will do that. But for me, whether it's ATOs, whether it's end of game, whether it's end of quarter, whether it's halftime adjustments, like all those things, in the weird part, like, you can work all you want in the summertime, but not until you stand on that sideline and it's lonely as hell do you figure out that, okay, those are the times when you figure it out. You can work on it all you want, but just from me to you, when you're standing there, that's when it happens, man.
Talking to Coach Christie, just a couple more for you, Coach. Coach, you used to be sitting in this chair like we talked about, or standing right here at the same time, so you know how it goes. Yesterday on the morning show, Sam Amick on these airwaves and mentioned some player circles have gone from they were practicing too much with the previous regime to now maybe they wish that they had practiced a bit more under you. You said you spoke to the team. Have you had any convos about that, or were you aware of that in any way?
No, I mean, I've heard some of that, but it came from a different place, which I won't really address.
Sure.
But listen, like, what you just said to me is we practiced too much. Then you said we didn't practice enough.
Right.
And the record was 7-1.
Right.
So what in the hell are we talking about? Like, stop.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're not going to please everybody. And if that's what you're trying to do, you're not probably going to be successful. I'm going to be me. I'm going to have a training camp. We'll practice how we practice. My thing is that we come out on that damn floor and we play how we play.
Right.
That's really what I'm about. So, a lot of people are going to say a lot of things. Hopefully one day they'll put a name to it and own it, because I'm always on mine.
Coach Christie, great stuff. One last question, and I know during the presser you talked about some fastballs and curveballs, so I'm going to lay this one up for you. The people need to know, will the Smelling Salts make a return in 2026 now that you are the head coach, no more interim? We need to know.
Always, man. You need clarity of mind. I'll tell you, a lot going on, and that smelling salt hits you. Sometimes I take a little bit too deep of a whiff and the eyes start watering. So I'll make sure it be easy on that one when Oscar throws it to me.
There you go. Coach Christie, once again, congrats to you. Congrats to you and your family. The team is in great hands. We love what we're hearing from you and Scott Perry. Everybody's excited. We will talk to you again soon. Enjoy your summer. Get some sleep at some point, Coach, and hopefully that's soon. We'll talk to you again.
Appreciate you. Go Kings. Like the beam.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com.
It's Carmichael Dave talking to you about my good friends at American Energy. You're in the Sacramento area. You know how the seasons work. They are a-changing right now. So American Energy wants to help you stay warm for the rest of the cold season, but help you stay cool during the warm season. Best way to do that, make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of half off a tune-up, $24.50. They cut that right in half, and if you want a diagnostic, guess what? You can't beat free. If it's free, it's me, and now it can be you. And also, it's the end of the season blowout. $4,000 off a new system plus any rebates. That $4,000, that's a direct drop from the sticker price. It's a great deal. Check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote, or give them a call at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
I don't like going to church, man. I don't like the people there. Like, if those are the people that are going to be hanging out in heaven, I just go to hell.
Renee Vaca.
Mexican, though, man. Stereotypical Mexican. When Donald Trump called us drug dealers, though, all right, he got us.
The Butterfly Effect Tour, Friday, May 23rd. The venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss Ralph Barbosa and Renee Vaca.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Chargers sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
There are so many benefits of working with the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. Now, we chose them to get our new garage doors, and we're so thrilled that we did. They look absolutely amazing. Jason Ross here. And for us, well, we just flat out needed new garage doors. But maybe you do as well, or maybe it's just repairs to your existing doors. Well, the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento can help you with that. It is also a great time of year because this is when homes go on the market. So is yours ready? Well, one thing, don't forget about that garage door, because a new garage door can increase the value of your home. First off, with Curb Appeal, a new modern or stylish garage door can improve the overall appearance of your house. Also, the return on investment. It is one of the most cost-effective upgrades to increase your home value. You can see for yourself. Just visit the showroom off Franklin Boulevard and ask about the Sacktown Sports Special. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
Get ready for an adrenaline-pumping, action-packed day at Monster Truck Madness. Witness the insane power of Rockstar, California Kid, Identity Theft, Spitfire, Reverse, Titan, and more. Plus, ride along with a massive monster truck. It's all happening Saturday, May 10th at the San Joaquin County Fairgrounds with 2 back-to-back shows at 3 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Don't miss the wildest event of the year. Tickets are selling fast, so head to StocktonDirtTrack.com for tickets and more info. It's Monster Truck Madness. Non-stop, high-octane thrills that you can't miss. The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
It's marching. The opening hit off of Dave Matthews, Under the Table and Dreaming. I always get nostalgic whenever I hear this song. It's maybe I've told this story before. It's the biggest win of my life. I was in Omaha, Nebraska, working at a trap and skeet range.
Doesn't sound like a win.
Got paid and had enough extra money after we went to the meat store. They had this thing in the paper where you could.
Is that where Omaha Steaks is from?
Yes, from Omaha, but not that meat store. We didn't have that money.
Omaha.
You could. They would have this thing in the paper, and for like $50, you get like 4 rolls of ground beef, 3 of these, 3. So we get a meat pack every week to live off of. And I happened to have a little extra money. I had enough to go into the music store and buy. There were 3 artists that had intrigued me off the radio. So back before Spotify or Apple Music, you had to gamble on what you bought. New artist comes out, somebody you don't know. You hear a song, okay, I'll grab that. And for every good one, there's the Dead Milkmen with Punk Rock Girl, or what a Dovetail Joint, or some band that you heard a song that you loved. And anyways, I bought 3 cassettes that day because I had heard 1 song from each of them. I bought Under the Table and Dreaming because I love dance marching. Grand Slam. I bought Tim McGraw's Debut because I heard Indian Outlaw. Love that song. Grand Slam. And I bought Jagged Little Pill because I had heard what was her debut song? Come on.
Ironic?
You Ought to Know. And that remains to me to this day one of my favorite cover to cover albums of all time. But
I paid my taxes.
Is that an old? Yeah, I mean, and honestly, and as we move on here, because we need to talk about Doug and the Warriors, not together but separately. I do have a question though. I did hear on a classic rock station a couple weeks ago. I think it was Pearl Jam, and I was like, come on, really? But okay. So I think the rule is like 20, 25 years, it becomes classic rock, right? Why isn't our classic rock that we grew up with oldies now? Right? Like, is it just all a genre? Like, because honest to God, when we grew up, our classic rock was like Doobie Brothers, Jimi Hendrix, Pink Floyd.
Right.
But if you look at the distance from now to when those songs came out,
that's still classic rock.
It is, but back when that was our classic rock, the distance now is the same as back then to like Bobby Darin or Frankie Valli or whatever.
Yeah, but that didn't feel like rock, does it?
No,
so I think
it's called oldies.
Right. I think that stayed in that genre. I think the rock window though is what? 60s to
60s to 20 years ago, basically.
2000.
So classic rock will technically, you would think, classic rock is now permanently any rock and roll from 1960 to 20 years ago. We'll be in 2080, and anything between 1960 and 2060 is classic rock.
Yeah, because I guess the same argument would be, what was disco? Mainly the 70s. If a song now has some disco elements to it, I don't know that it's a disco song.
Why? Right? That's true. Nope, that's true. Well, Pink Floyd, the Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2, the most popular one of the three. That's a disco song. People don't pick up on it, but go back and listen to it, and that's a disco guitar. And it came from that era, but it's not classified as a disco song, obviously. Why isn't there a classic rap station, or was there?
There is.
There is. Mm-hmm. Is there? Mm-hmm. Because rap's been around, hip hop and rap been around long enough to have classic hip hop. They have actually they do have actual stations.
Well, I think like radio stations now are more generalized. Where if you go to like Sirius XM, like they'll have it. Like,
they'll
90s hip hop, and you're like, oh, it's just that,
right,
whatever.
Well, and if he was a song, Doug Christie would be a classic player.
Yes,
he's been off that long.
Yeah.
Good interview with Alan. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Alan Stiles, for that. Final thoughts really on, I don't know that we heard anything groundbreaking. The things we've heard is that Jay Triano and a few other assistants are gone. They're rebuilding the staff, and we just have no idea because we don't know what the roster is going to be. And even when we know what the roster is going to be, we're going to find out what kind of coach Doug Christie can be now that he's, when he gets a full year under his belt.
Do you think Doug would be better off? Let's say there's probably 3 different kinds of teams you can have, and maybe there's more, but like, let's say a championship caliber team, which this team is not.
Yeah.
A middle of the road team, a team that's trying to be competitive, which I would say is where this team is.
Yeah.
Or a rebuilding team. If Doug, just on the surface, you've seen Doug coach for 50 something games now.
Mm-hmm.
If you plugged him into one of those 3 avenues,
which do I think he'd excel at the most?
Yeah, because this one I think is going to be the middle of the road.
I've thought about this, and I have absolutely zero doubt about my answer. I 100% believe Doug's a rebuilding coach. I think he would be a phenomenal rebuilding coach. Young players trying to learn basketball, air quotes, the right way, fundamentals. He is a teaching coach. He is a mentor. He's the guy that'll come to the back of the bus where you're sitting after a tough loss in Milwaukee, driving to the airport where you went 1 of 10 and you're questioning what you're doing in this league. And he's going to come back and he's going to talk to you about real pain he's experienced and how great you're going to be. I think Doug is and to be honest with you, I'll say this, and we'll see how it works out. We'll see how Doug does here, and we wish him the best, but Vegas would lay odds that he's got about 2 years, give or take a few months, before we move on to another coach. It's just history. I hope I'm wrong. I think Doug Christie, I hope his next step, if after this, if it doesn't work out, is college. I think Doug would be an amazing college coach. I think Doug would be phenomenal recruiting. As long as he had somebody there to help him with all the NIL stuff, because he's not a salesman. And I think I think Doug would be fantastic with a young group, which is why I'm sad that this team's not going to do that.
Yeah, and of the three choices, honestly, I think the middle one is hardest on GM and coach.
Yes.
Like in that, hey, you're good, not good enough. You're in the middle ground. You're trying to find a way to jump up to the upper ground, and that's a really tough spot for everybody involved.
It really is, and it's you're in this purgatory, and that's really what we should call what the Kings are in. They're not bad enough to really be if they were a bad team record-wise, but they were stockpiling draft picks, they had high lottery picks, they had young players that they'd been building through. Oklahoma City's obviously and Detroit are on the other side of the rebuild. Houston, you got teams like Utah, Washington. I don't know that I count Charlotte. They just seem to be treading water, but teams like that are right smack in the middle of a rebuild. But you can see Utah just extended their coach long-term as well. That's Danny Ainge. They know what they're doing there. Minnesota coming out of a rebuild. Remember, they got Anthony Edwards by getting the number 1 pick. How'd they do that? It wasn't by being a great team. And then you have a team like the Kings that is just in this perpetual treading water purgatory. By the way, I'll stand in front of Vivek a little bit here. This is not a Vivek thing. You'll remember, and older Kings fans will remember, when the Kings were coming off of their run, you had Jeff Petrie and the Maloofs desperately trying to keep them somewhere in the playoff hunt. And so that's when they were using their mid-level exception every year on a Mikey Moore or a Sharif Abdul-Rahim or somebody that really wasn't the best move long-term, but somebody that would be able to help them now. And so now you have these Kings that going into next season, and again, I hope I'm wrong, but I think if I were to tell you right now, Jason, you gotta pick a poison. How's next season going to end? And I told you the over/under on Kings wins would be 41. Whether you go above or below, that's around the right thought, right?
Oh, 100%. They were 40 this year. We could argue for a few more wins. Probably could argue for a few more losses. I think I told you in the segment back, I go, gosh, it feels like this team right now, if they ran it back, because I think you mentioned that like as an idea, not a proposal, but just like what if they ran it back? I think they'd be 35 to 45. So that's 41 is right in the middle of that.
That's purgatory because that is not bad enough to do anything in the lottery. You're also not playing young up and coming guys and suffering through the losses of youth. And you're also not good enough to be competing for a championship.
Right.
If
it goes right, maybe you're in the play-in or a playoff
Hello,
series.
this is Business Outreach Group.
Hi.
We've been trying.
That's why I don't answer on-screen phone calls. Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, hey, halfway through the program, what the heck is that? Let's get into the Warriors if you want. The cockroaches that they are, and I actually say that in a complimentary way, because here we are. Once again, they have vanquished a higher seed and are poised to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves, who we just mentioned in the second round. We'll be right back after this.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
2 to 8-year-old, listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is back for another thrilling season at Monterey's iconic WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, May 9th through the 11th. Only in Monterey can you experience a high-octane mix of international drivers, cutting-edge prototypes, and GT sports cars racing wheel to wheel. There'll be gourmet food, wine, craft beers, family entertainment, and exclusive fan engagement with the drivers in the open race paddock. Buy your tickets now and experience world-class motorsports. Visit WeatherTechRaceway.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Whitey here with another great grilling tip. The Napoleon Stainless Steel Prestige 500 Connected Propane Grill with infrared side and rear burner featuring Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity brings you closer to your grilling experience than ever before. The Napoleon Connected lets you monitor temperatures, set timers, and receive high temp warnings. Boop, boop. All from your smartphone with temperature probes and LCD display. You'll always know exactly what's happening inside your grill. Napoleon's LED control knobs even illuminate for nighttime entertaining and feature safety glow. Napoleon Grills, simply the best.
Water. It's more than just a word. It's morning routines, backyard memories, and everything in between. At Roseville Environmental Utilities, we're not just managing water, we're protecting it. Smart planning, conservation, innovation. We make every drop count for today and tomorrow. Let's keep the promise together. Find out how you can help at roseville.ca.us/water promise. Roseville Environmental Utilities. Water, it's not just a word, it's our promise.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
From the 916 or the kingsthewish.com. I don't even know what that is of the NBA, but could be Macy's and then possibly Saks Fifth Avenue. I would say the Kings are the Temu of the NBA.
That's basically what Wish.
Is that what that is? And they keep trying to be Nordstrom's. And they're not the dollar store. They're just caught in the middle. They're just constantly being Temu. And at least dollar store, you go, well, it's not a ton of quality there. Man, tons of people go there and they make a profit and there's a future.
Right.
Nordstrom is, places like that, top of the pops. They're just Temuing around. Like, well, it looks like basketball.
It smells like basketball.
Smells like it's kind of, it's technically basketball. And yeah, sometimes you're going to get that order and man, it's like, and then you order the thing off of Temu and for like 2 years, you're laughing with your friends. You're like, you paid $300 for that. I got it on Temu for $85. And you know what? I'm having every bit as much fun with it as you are. And then 2 years and a week later, yours breaks down. And then they come back and they're like, how was that? How'd that work out for you? Yeah. How's that working out? You get what you pay for. That's the problem. It's the fact.
Jack.
Got to be honest, though. Texland's killing the chat today.
Again? Is it over?
They got a lot of work to do. But I just wanted to help out Camp. He said I was going to come back from break and say that. Hey, you show and receive. The Warriors looked old and decrepit.
Is that how you describe them after Game 6?
Just overmatched and beaten and just old. How are you gonna figure out the double big lineup. And, you know, it's not like they did a ton different. You mentioned earlier Gary Payton Jr. being out.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy Hield. If you'd have told me yesterday, noonish, that Buddy Hield was going to be the leading scorer for the Warriors, I would have been already looking at Timberwolves versus Rockets matchups. If you'd have told me yesterday that Steph Curry wouldn't score his first points until late in the second, I'd be wondering how Dylan Brooks and, Rudy Gobert would get, stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think even after a while in the first and midway through the second, the leading scorer was Buddy and Draymond. It was like those two guys had something like 20 points combined, and I think Butler had like 5, Curry had 0, and you're like, and the Warriors are ahead? What's going on here?
What was going on? Yeah. That's the whole thing. Another thing I will, like, you got to call balls and strikes, man. I hate it, but they weren't screwing around.
Right.
Like everyone, Draymond was, all business. There wasn't, I mean, there was a little bit here and there, but there wasn't any of the crap, the fun, I should say. I almost called it crap. The fun we saw earlier in the series, it was all business. And maybe that was part of the problem for the Rockets. Maybe the Rockets should have gotten a little rockety with them, a little bit dirty, not dirty, but maybe a skirmish here, skirmish there, get in Draymond's head, start messing with him. They did.
Got him one technical.
Yeah, the technical, not the flagrant early on. Steph Curry talked about the difference Jimmy Butler's made.
That's why we're here. I mean, we were 10th place at one point in February, and finished the year with a sense of urgency on the run to even get it to the play-in to give ourselves a chance. So for us to build chemistry on the fly, build trust on the fly, and perform like we did in a Game 7 like this, it means the world. So mission accomplished, step one. We got an incredibly tough Minnesota team waiting, so excited for the challenge.
A couple things here from Steve Kerr. First off, on ex-King Buddy Hield.
Multiple guys stepping up. Buddy Hield, I don't know what to say. I mean, that was really incredible watching him light it up in that first half, especially, and then down the stretch as well. But
yeah, and here's Buddy. Go ahead. That was kind of abrupt, wasn't it?
Coach.
Here's Buddy on his game.
Yesterday, when we get to Houston, we had a very emotional meeting led by Draymond and Steph and Jimmy. And from then, I was just locked in and just get my spirit together. And the meeting we had was just better give everybody chills. And we know when they go to battle, we know what that means. And meeting was well needed. Game 6, we was not locked in. Dre put all the blame on him, just getting himself nunsy. You see him today. He was not freaking with the refs. He didn't miss nobody. He was just being Draymond Green, all defensive player. He's our team leader. He's our spirit animal, and he was there for us. And today, he just followed their lead, and we know how much this game meant for them. And we just collectively had a meeting, and we just figured it out.
All right, I have 2 takeaways from that. I know I heard a couple references to this meeting.
Sure.
One, and they're not the first team ever to do this, but Kings will have meetings during the season, then play better for 3, 4, 5 games. Like, why don't?
Well, it's always a meeting.
You guys are all together. You meet all the time.
We
like, what's
the
meeting difference in these meetings? Yeah. But and then it takes me also back to, I remember after the Kings lost to the Warriors in Game 7, there was a bunch of articles about how Steph basically called Draymond that night. Or the night before Game 7, and was, those two met, and Steph was like, "We've got this." Whatever the meaning, whatever the essence of that was. But the Warriors had to know the value of winning in Game 5 or in Game 6, and taking mileage off, and it's just they're too experienced to know that you can't really mess around with games. Now they didn't get burned; they won, but over the long term, you just wonder if going 7 will hurt them at all against the T-Wolves. I don't know. Maybe it helps. Maybe it doesn't do anything, but. It's weird that sometimes meetings can propel teams, or they'll credit it. And I'm sure you think the Rockets didn't meet. I'm sure maybe they met.
They did.
Well, did the meeting backfire? It's just funny, but
it is interesting. You can pick out almost any dynasty in our lifetime, whether it's the Heat, the Spurs, the Lakers, obviously. I don't know that there's one of them that at one point didn't play with their food. They seem to need to challenge themselves in different ways to get their heads in the game. And then, that's easy to say. Look, Warriors walked off the floor here in Sacramento last year, and they haven't won a title, or a couple of years last year. Yeah, sorry, they haven't won a title in a few years. I get that. They've been sent home, but you're still talking about a team with just such insane playoff experience.
Yes, and I don't know. It's a human nature thing. People need to be pushed or challenged. Much like if you go back to a regular season where a pretty good team is coming into Golden One, you're like, I don't like that they've lost 3 in a row because they're good. That team is challenged, and now you're going to get their best performance. And here, obviously, was the winner go home situation. Warriors have been there before. Rockets did a good job of kept coming back, and then that last surge, they just got punched big time. And it went from like about 6 to 8. And you're like, well, maybe, and then it was 20. And you're like, yeah, it's over.
Well, and that's just jumping across real quick to Cleveland, Indiana. Cleveland took the lead.
Yeah. And then it felt like, okay, this is what
thought that was it.
A little bit. Now they're going to win game 1.
Thought that was it. They messed around. They woke up. They were a little bit rusty, and here we go. Which it actually made the Pacers win more impressive to me than if they just blown them out from the jump.
Right.
Here's Draymond Green on how he acted.
I pouted way too much last game, so I spent the last 2 days embarrassed. Just what I gave to the game, what I gave to the world, I was embarrassed. So I've been dying since the last game ended to get out on the floor and prove who I am. One thing about this league, you're never done proving who you are until you're done, completely finished. And so I wanted to come out and prove again just who I am, with poise, but with the same fire, same tenacity, but poise. And I think I delivered that and gave our guys something to follow. What I gave them last game to follow, they followed. And that's why we got bullied. But I think I gave them something different to follow today. That was the message. That was the goal. We got it done.
Coming up at 8:28, we'll do a postmortem on the Rockets. We'll hear from Ime Udoka. Jason, as we get ready to go to break here, just a random thing. I've said it many, many times. I have all the respect in the world for the sport. There are just some sports I go, it's just not for me.
Right.
All the respect in the world for hockey.
Okay.
I have all the respect in the world. I've never been able to get into it. But the Stanley Cup playoffs are a different bird altogether.
Okay.
And I find myself starting out kind of getting to know who's in there. And then I watch some things here and there. And as this Rockets-Warriors game was on and the Warriors stretched their lead, I had the St. Louis Blues and the Winnipeg Jets on the other TV. And, it was just on. And in the second period, this is in Winnipeg, game 7. It looked like the Blues are going to run away.
Snaps it to Foxa. Foxa shoots. Score! 3-1. Radek Foxa, the WTF line does it again. 34 seconds to go in the second period.
Yeah.
WTF line.
Yeah, when the face-off line was it. So 3-1 St. Louis on the road. No, Winnipeg is they're sad. They're sad in Winnipeg.
Sad Jets.
Yeah, sad Jets. I take you to the third period, and Winnipeg's gotten one back. They're now down 3-2, and time is winding down.
Far side, quick shot, deflected in front. They score! Cole Perfetti with a deflection. 1.6 seconds left. In the third period, the Jets have tied it up at 3. Holy smokes! 1.6 seconds left, and Winnipeg has tied it at 3.
That was a one hell of a model American voice.
Yes, he ran out of breath.
They tied it up with 1.6 left in the third. They go to OT, still tied. They go to second OT, deep in second OT.
Pionk walks the line, wristed through traffic. He scores! Deflected in front by the captain, Adam Lowry. Jets win! Jets win! Jets win! In double overtime tonight.
I'm not going to lie. Anytime.
He was an unlikely Rebel. And to me, he's our greatest Canadian.
I always root for the Canadians. Not Montreal necessarily, but I feel like hockey's Canada's sport.
You hate America?
I don't hate America. I love America, but it's Winnipeg. What the hell is even Winnipeg?
Chris Jericho's from Winnipeg.
Great.
The Jets.
Right. I'm just like.
You don't want St. Louis, the Blues?
No. St. Louis has the
Chris
Cardinals and they had the Rams in the Super Bowl. They got all kinds. It's Winnipeg. It's not Lose-a-Peg. It's Winnipeg.
Would it make you feel different that the Jets just swept the Blues?
Huh?
They swept them.
What do you mean they swept?
It was a series sweep.
This was?
Mm.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
It was a 7-game series.
Nope.
What? I don't even know what the bid is. So I'm all in. I'm all in.
You're all in on Winnipeg. That's your team?
I would give it, yes. Jets, Jets, which is definitely not something they say.
Where is Winnipeg?
Canada.
Above what state?
North. It's America's hat.
I think it's above. Is it above Montana?
I don't know.
Oh,
You're the Winnipeg guy.
All right, hold on. We're gonna go to break here. Let's just see. Gonna go to break. Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Oh,
well, maybe it should be Personatoba, but anyways, Winnipeg is. Oh, it's almost exactly above. Like if you took the border of North Dakota and Minnesota and went straight up, you're at Winnipeg. You're at Winnipeg.
I'm a Calgary guy.
It gets a little cold up there.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
Come on, Peg. Let's go. I'm all about the Peg. We'll take a break when we come back. LA Clippers, postmortem. It's a safe space.
Is it?
Not really. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis. Put the frosting on the cake. Put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
It's Carmichael Dave talking to you about my good friends at American Energy. You're in the Sacramento area. You know how the seasons work. They are a-changing right now. So American Energy wants to help you stay warm for the rest of the cold season, but help you stay cool during the warm season. Best way to do that, make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of half off a tune-up, $24.50. They cut that right in half, and if you want a diagnostic, guess what? You can't beat free. If it's free, it's me, and now it can be you. And also, it's the end of the season blowout. $4,000 off a new system plus any rebates. That $4,000, that's a direct drop from the sticker price. It's a great deal. Check them out at theaeway.com or an instant quote, or give them a call at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
We were talking earlier about the Kings, the Wish.com or the Temu of the NBA, where it's like basketball, but kind of low quality. I think it might be over. I think the text line wins the day.
Okay, what do you got?
We've got almost
Prove
half
it.
the show left, but from the 916. Hey, can we stop and get some basketball? No, we have basketball at home. Just as good as the thing. That's the Kings. That's so fantastic. You're absolutely right. The Sacramento Kings are when you ask your mom for McDonald's in the car, and she says, no, I can make you McDonald's when we get home. Better than McDonald's. That's the old Eddie Murphy bit.
Would your mom say that? That might be we have something better at home. Not I can make it.
The only time if there happened to be a Little League game on the nights, it was a Tuesday night when the McDonald's on Engle and Carmichael, or not McDonald's, or yeah, it was McDonald's on Fair Oaks Boulevard. They would have 29-cent hamburger, 39-cent cheeseburger night on Tuesdays. Now, I'm not that old. Like, it was a legit drop in price there. And if I was coming back from Little League, we'd just go in there, man. My mom would drop $10. We just come home with like 20.
And what is it about McDonald's? I think it's okay. But
right.
That was the treat, though.
It's
because like it was like maybe because it was always no.
Yeah.
And so it's like you got a yes. It's like this is
probably
it. Something we shouldn't be having.
Well, they got the best
but we
fast
get
food
to eat
fries.
it.
I mean, they got
the fries are money.
Yeah, the fries are money.
But like the burgers.
Yeah, the burger's the burger. I don't know. There might be drugs in it.
Have you done I think we've asked, have you had the McRib?
I have. A few times.
Really?
Yeah.
You've ordered it.
I have. Wow. Few times.
So you must like it. Is it gone?
It comes back once a year.
Oh.
It's like fast food herpes.
When?
It just shows it.
When's the McRib time?
What's McRib season?
Yeah.
I want to say it's coming up.
Okay. Because I know like the Shamrock Shake was a thing for me as a kid in March.
When
they had the Shamrock Shake.
Yeah.
That was like a big deal.
Let's see. Is this from just now? Yeah. McDonald's. This is from April 16th. McDonald's confirms. Oh, no, never mind. That's a snack wrap. Who the hell cares about the snack wrap? I want the McRib. McRib will make its grand return to participating McDonald's restaurants December 3rd.
So, like in
what?
7 months?
Last December 3rd?
Yeah, probably. Well, so I'm just looking for the last time we had
Gotcha.
McRib.
Anyway,
I mean, I'm just.
But you've ordered it multiple times.
I have.
So
Yeah,
must
I
like
haven't
it.
in a long time.
All right.
Because then I saw like the making of the McRib. And that wasn't great. It wouldn't.
Those aren't ribs.
No,
But just like the Jack in the Box tacos.
That's what I'm saying.
Not sure what's in there, but
I don't know either, and it looks like cat food.
Yeah.
But I will
food.
house me. Back in the day.
Are they still 2 for $99?
I don't think so. I think it's like 2 for $1.
I think it's like the I
2
think
for
it's like
15.
the Costco hot dog. It's always got to be 2 for 99 cents.
Oh, I guarantee
that'd be
it's
great.
not. It's not.
Someone out there knows.
How much are? All right, we'll move on here a second. 2 tacos and Jack.
What do you think it went up to?
I think it went up
$1.59?
to. I think it's 2 for $1. Yeah, that's exactly what I think it is. I think it's 2 for. It's either 59 or 79. However, wait, hold on.
Are there more?
Oh, hold on here. Hold on. Chicken and more.
2 tacos for 99 cents.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Oh, wow. There you go.
I swear I went there and it wasn't 99 cents. I'm telling you.
Oh, what did you do Friday? Was it your AI fast food? Your cheat day or whatever you said?
No, that's when I went and saw Tom, and then I just forgot the way. I didn't do any. I didn't do AI Carl's Jr.
Gotcha.
I didn't do. You know what I did? I did. I do those Arby cheddar melts at home now.
Oh,
that's what I ended up doing.
You have made them.
Yeah, I got a Kaiser roll. Got a thing.
Because you have that meat slicer.
Yeah. No, I just got the roast beef lunch meat. Oh. We talked about this, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I forgot that you got a slicer.
Yeah,
So
I do have
it's
a
funny
slicer.
that you've got a slicer, but you
use it.
Yeah, but here's the thing, dude. It's not. It'll slice it thin, but I tried that with roast beef. It's not just that. There's some sort of preservative they put in to make the texture completely different. It would be like taking a turkey breast and slicing it super thin. It's still not the same texture as when you go to the store and buy lunch meat. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
All I'm saying, it's not the same.
I've seen them do that though on their.
They
slicers.
do, but their turkey breast has been treated. It's been injected with whatever that nitrate is that gives it that roast beefy turkey lunch meat texture. It's not grainy. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't get that. Same thing with pastrami. I couldn't get it like that. It's a bunch of crap. I tried. Tell me what that nitrate is. It's probably that pink salt. The pink.
Himalayan?
No, no. I mean, no. It's not salt. It's a pink powder you put in to do corned beef. It's what turns the corned beef kind of pinkish. Gives it a different thing. Anyways, so yeah, the Clippers.
Yes.
I mean, look.
What do they do?
What
oldest roster in the NBA that, again, I think other years they could point to, well, this guy was hurt or this guy didn't finish the season. They had Harden. They had Kawhi in the playoffs. They had the best year of Zubats and certainly the best year of Norman Powell.
Right.
Added Bogey and some other pieces to that roster, Derek Jones. It just They're good. It's weird. They actually need offense,
which is strange. But you're right.
More shooting, more scoring. What are you thinking?
Well, looking to see if we can pick the carcass here. I mean, Zach LaVine would fit in nicely on that team.
Would.
But that's the thing, dude. Kawhi Leonard makes 49.3. There's no point in them trading him.
Yeah.
Harden makes 33.6 and also yuck. They're not giving up, Powell and you're not getting I mean, even if you got Powell and Ivica Zubac from them, which you're not,
right,
that's still $10 million less than what LaVine makes. They really don't have a ton after that. I mean, they've resurrected Chris Dunn's career, former, I think, number 5 pick.
I think they kind of have to just do it again.
And I don't know necessarily what the trade value is for a lot of these guys. You're not getting a ton for Zubac, even if you wanted to trade him. Kawhi, what are you going to trade off 2 more years and $100 million of Kawhi Leonard? I mean, you might get some picks and stuff back, but you're not getting a ton. I don't know what the hell James Harden's value is, but I can't think it's that great. I think there's a lot of people that would balk at James Harden at $33 million a year. You're getting, he's like James Harden is like more expensive, better statistical Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah,
I don't know. That is a purgatory team, but they're
a
different kind of purgatory.
Yeah, they're a notch above. I think the right matchup, maybe they get through a couple things.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, look, they had a good year. They are a good team. They're a really good defense. I think Jeff Van Gundy helped them.
Yeah.
But now as every year you get older, you're kind of relying on them staying healthy. I think that's a little bit risky proposition there. So I don't know what the fix is for the Clippers.
Well, here's as we break, here's Ty Lue, their head coach, on evaluating the season.
Starting training camp, not having Kawhi and the uncertainty of when he'll be back. I thought James did a great job of leading this group. And then to start the season, the kind of season that Norm had, the career season that he had, the career season that Zoo had, and James being able to hold this team together until we got Kawhi back and getting Kawhi back to where he was in rare form of who he is. And so once he got back and, got to playing like himself, I thought we really put together a strong run. Winning 18 out of 21 to get to this position, I thought was really good. But I just thought, like you said, all year long, just, sticking together, staying together until we got to this point. And like I said, I'm proud of the guys and everybody in that locker room for what we was able to, accomplish.
Am I the only one that thinks now all of a sudden, I've never noticed this before, that Ty Lue and Tyrese Halliburton sound similar? Like if I told you this was Tyrese Halliburton.
And then to start the season, the kind of season that Norm had, the career.
Maybe it's that
little bit of rasp.
Yeah, like he's a little hoarse. Not like a
Yeah.
Horse with an
horse.
Yeah. By the way, congratulations to Sovereignty.
Yeah.
Winning the Kentucky Derby. I was scared for them, man. I watched my wife watches all the coverage. She loves the hats. And then I come in for the race, and then we each pick three. By the way, I got two of the three.
I did. Yeah, my wife and I did really well.
Yeah,
just in the house pick. Yeah.
And it was all rainy and muddy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wait, they're going to run this? Like, you don't let the NASCARs go when it rains, but you're going to let the horsey go? Yeah. And all I was worried about was some horse is going to slip and break a leg, and, we've seen him get put down.
Right.
And then that didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
So
Good
thank
race.
goodness. But I didn't know you could. I mean, geez, man. Let the court and put some sand on it or something. We'll take a break. When we come back, Rockets postmortem. It's a safe space, Rocket fans. I don't think there's any Rocket fans here, but just in case, we'll hear from Ime Udoka and see where they go. Much different situation than the LA Clippers. Next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Get it? With the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-837-5050. That's 800-837-5050. 800-837-5050.
The PGA Club fitters at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio know that golf should be fun. They also know that players of all abilities will hit the ball farther and straighter, play better golf, shoot lower scores, and have more fun if they get fitted before they purchase golf clubs. Hagen Oaks delivers the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA professionals. See how the game can be even more fun. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Are you thinking about buying a new car? Well, maybe you're on the fence. Let me help you out. Kyle Draper here from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the first time I stepped into the MP of Stockton showroom, I knew I made the right choice. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV. It's comfortable, stylish, and most importantly, it's safe. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. It's just a short drive down I-5 or anytime at mbfstockton.com.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is only a few weeks away with Bailey Zimmerman, Cole Wetzel, plus Billy Currington, Nate Smith, Ernest, and more. Friday and Saturday, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo. Don't miss pop-up stores, food trucks, line dancing, and more. Country in the Park, celebrating 25 years, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Goldfield Trading Post, Java City, and Elemental Wine. Get tickets and more at CITPFest.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
And we're talking about the Rockets here, but and talking about the Warriors. I mean, is it just me? Because I had a guy on Twitter earlier. I'd said something like, I gotta tip the cap at least to the Warriors for getting through and figure it out. And then I said, I hope the Wolves smash them. And he goes, come on, man, it's Northern California all the time. And then I had another guy that was like, imagine, how could you possibly dislike a team that's 90 miles away? And I'm like, that's every rivalry in sports. Right. Am I stupid? Well, I mean, I am, but what are you talking about? That's every rivalry.
Florida State, UCLA, USC, like Ohio, whatever. It just,
you imagine that where someone's like, UCLA's out of it, but I'm pulling for USC. Why? LA, man.
Right.
LA. Yeah. Like who?
I guarantee there's a bunch of garbage people down there that think that way.
But even if you're right, you said it properly. Those are garbage people. Like who does that? But who are these people that are obviously sports fans that are talking to me, I just don't get how you can dislike the Warriors. I mean, it's Northern California. Right. If the Kings are out of it, you gotta move on. What?
I will say we're a weird spot for that.
Why?
Just the way people are around here. What's the only place in America with a split hat?
It's not. There's got to be a split hat somewhere else. But it's like,
you've seen the White Sox Cubs split hat?
No.
Yankees Mets?
Imagine that. Imagine that. The Yankees are out. I'm pulling for. Well, the only guy who could pull that crap off is Marty McNeil. Mm-hmm. Rest his soul. He didn't care.
Like, could you imagine someone wearing something with UCLA off on it and then taking it off and going to USC just because they feel like it was a better?
Can I just say, by the way, that I now have my USC dad shirt, and it was right there for me this morning, ready to wear, and I didn't do it.
Make sure I'm off.
Yeah, it might be actually. Little USC dad, which and by the way, I got him off Amazon. But maybe here's the thing: is it just me, or if they're forcing you to pay $700 billion for your kid to go to school, maybe send you a mug, maybe send you a shirt.
They'll make you pay for it.
They really need it, though. Could you imagine where USC would be without tuition? Oh, heaven forbid.
LA. Waiting to get knocked out of the tournament so they can root on UCLA, because that's what you do. Mm-hmm. The Houston Rockets are going to Cancun. Wouldn't that be funny if every time a team loses, they ought, like, that's actually a real thing. Everybody on the roster, you have to go to Cancun. You have to go. Like, just Cancun, like, there's certain countries, like, when the Super Bowl happens, like, they're waiting for the, like, loser, the outfits, the shirts and stuff. Like, is Cancun just waiting?
That's where the exit meeting should take place.
All of them in Cancun. 1, 2, 3 Cancun. Right. Well, for the Rockets, it's a far different situation than the Clippers or a lot of teams, because they had themselves quite the season. I know it ends in disappointment. I know it ends in look, you lost to the lower seed. That's all factual. But you're an up-and-coming team, and let me just tell you, Amen Thompson might be my favorite non-King. It's getting close. It's been Dyson Daniels, but God, kids like that, the NBA is. Did you see that putback he had? The left-handed fingertips
tipped it in off the glass. Yeah,
he's just. I watch him on both sides of the floor to the point where I sometimes lose what's going on in the play, because it's just him running around with Steph Curry. I guarantee you, if we talk to Steph right now about him, he'd be like, "Yeah, that's one of the few times where I've just been like, I am getting old."
Yeah, I know after the Knicks beat the Pistons, what was it, Jalen Brunson and others were talking about Asur Thompson. Like, this kid, man.
Yeah.
And Amon's doing the same thing, if not even at a higher impact for Houston.
Yeah.
So their trick is, I know they got Şengün is contract extension available. Same with Jalen Green. And basically, the question is, can they pay everybody? Because their highest paid player that has a contract option this year is Van Vliet. And that's kind of the guy they need, though. So do you say, you know what, thank you, Fred, so far for the last 2 years, we're going to do something else at point guard? Or is it, no, thank you, Fred, we're definitely going to keep that up? I mean, that's about the only way I think they could change their team, is to not re-sign Fred VanVleet. And that they don't have to change their team. They can just say that we're going to run this back, work on the edges here, and we're young, we are a 2 seed, but also you were a 2 seed that did lose to a 7. That's not
right.
That's not great, but they're in a good spot, though. They're in a good position.
They are in a good spot, and it makes you. Let me bring them in here. All right. So when we're looking at, again, trying to pick the carcass here, Jason. Let me find Houston. Fred VanVleet set to make what, 42, 43 million next year. By the way, boy, you know who the Rockets could use? Zach LaVine.
You're really trying for that.
Work straight across.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're going to do with Jalen Green. Because are they all in on Jalen Green, who is certainly an incredibly talented player, averaged 21 points, 4.5 boards, 3.5 assists, but also has some problems. Is that the problems of a
what do you mean? What problems?
23-year-old. When you look at this series, there are definitely some inconsistencies with him.
Yeah.
Now, is that just youth? Is that just experience? Or is this a guy that I heard somebody say earlier, and it caught my ear, is Jalen Green on the Bradley Beal train when it comes to his career? He's going to score. He's going to be inconsistent. He's going to make a ton of money. He's not going to win anything. And I don't know. That's very unfair to do to a 23-year-old. But they got to do something. They don't have to do something, but they should do something. I just don't necessarily know. And like you said, I mean, Şengün.
Yeah, Şengün and Green are expected to get I think their salaries do jump up, if I'm not mistaken. So, and Van Vliet is the one they got to make a decision on. You've got the right coach.
Yes.
You've got a team that plays under his style. Again, I feel like they need more shooting, more offense. Not necessarily more offense, more shooting. Their best thing in the series to me was just their aggressive nature, their points in the paint, their missed shots. They would go get the rebound and put them back. The 3-point differential killed them in the series, and it killed them yesterday. I mean, the Warriors, it's what they do best. The Rockets don't make enough threes, and I would think that's an area they would look at trying to expand on, is some shooting on that roster.
As we go to break, let me bring this in now. I don't know if people can see it on YouTube. What I do find interesting, though, Jason, is that the Rockets have the Suns 2025 first, the Suns 2027 first. They have a 2027 swap with the Nets. They have their own 2028 first. They have the 2029 first of either the Suns or Mavericks, and a swap with either the Suns or the Mavericks, and then their own first and 30 and 31. Here's my point. They can get into some conversations.
That's where they can go.
They can get into some conversations.
And people are talking about Durant there. We've mentioned Giannis being a player that, like, they have the ability to move some people to get some pieces to add to that team.
Durant there is interesting.
How great would that be?
Going back home to Texas. Home's Baltimore, but I'm saying where he went to college. That's actually really interesting. I don't know if that'd be too much, but that's definitely a team.
Phoenix needs some picks back.
Yeah, that's actually kind of intriguing, and Houston could absolutely grab Kevin Durant. We'll take a break. When we come back, who's hot, who's not, and we go, ooh, that's right, we go streaking. I got an 11-game streak on the line. How did I do? How did Jason and Chris do? They also have streaks of one. We'll get to all that right after this.
Sports 1140 newsletter right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, athletics, and Republic FC with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
This is Jill Schlesinger. May is Military Appreciation Month, and I know how much I appreciate the military. I married into a military family. I hear from so many members of the military, and Navy Federal Credit Union wants us to celebrate those who go above and beyond for us every day. If you're active duty, a veteran, or part of a military family, you're eligible to join. At Navy Federal Credit Union, the members are the mission. Learn more at NavyFederal.org/celebrate. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Disturbed. Live. Oh, get up, come on, get down with the 25th anniversary of the 5-time platinum album, The Sickness. 2 sets, 1 show, The Sickness in its entirety, and greatest hits with special guests, Daughtry and nothing more. Friday, May 9th, Golden One Center. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Disturbed. Live.
Memorial Day is the unofficial beginning of summer and a time to reflect on the blessings we enjoy living in this country. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At Naturewood's Memorial Day sale, you choose the offer. It's like 2 sales in one. Take 10% off regular prices or get 24 months of no-interest financing with payments on approved credit. Then you can choose from living rooms, sofas, sectionals, dining rooms, bedrooms, home offices, and so much more. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, you can shop and save big on the best selection of quality furniture, including Sacramento's largest selection of furniture made in the USA. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishings. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for that water wheel.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Hey, Chris, do you know who's hot?
Tyrese Halliburton.
Wait, who was that?
Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh, Tyrese Halliburton. Do tell.
In 6 playoff games for the Pacers this season, he has had 71 assists, 13 three-pointers made, and 7 blocks. He's the first player in NBA history to reach each of those numbers in any span of 6 postseason games.
What'd you call him?
Tyrese Halliburton.
Where was his dad? His dad wasn't at the game.
Oh, gee, I wonder why.
Okay, so Tyrese Halliburton is hot. Who is not?
Shall we wait for Dave on this? Or
Oh yeah. If
he's gonna really want to hear this.
Okay. All right. So we heard who's hot. It was let Chris tell you who was hot. Chris.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Okay. So now we need to know who's not.
Yeah, who's not?
Playoff teams with 1 day of rest versus teams with 8 or more days of rest.
That's oddly specific. Tell me more.
Well, the Nuggets are going to be playing the Thunder, which is exactly what they're going through. But in game 1 of series where one team has 1 day of rest and the other team has 8 or more, the team with 1 day of rest is 0-6, and the average margin of defeat is 20 or more points.
What?
I'd say average. No, I said that wrong. Average margin of defeat is 20 points.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I would also like to play a clip for you for who's hot, if you wouldn't mind doing the thingy you have to do. Who's hot, who's not? Well, here's who's not. People on Jeopardy.
Football 200. Your choice. Do or don't name this play in which the quarterback runs the ball and can choose to pitch it to another back.
It's an option.
It's an option play. Ryan?
Football 400.
I can tell you guys are big football fans.
Yeah.
Tom Landry perfected the shotgun formation with this team.
Rams, obviously.
Dallas Cowboys. Do you think we should go to commercial? Ryan?
Take it on to 600.
Okay, by signaling for one of these, a returner can reel in a kick without fear of getting tackled. Fair catch. 2 clues left, Ryan.
800.
These penalties are simultaneous violations by the offense and defense that cancel each other out. And they are called offsetting penalties. Let's look at the $1,000 clue just for the fun of it. Jimmy?
As Minneapolis's U.S. Bank Stadium prepares to host Super Bowl 52, I'm looking at the Ring of Honor with names from this defensive line that took the Vikings to 4 Super Bowls.
If you guys ring in and get this one, I will die. Who are the purple people? eaters. We're going to take a break.
I miss Alex Trebek. Isn't that one of those times, though, you find yourself going, I wish I was on that for that episode.
Yeah.
You just fly right through.
Sweep that category.
It's easy. Yeah.
Losers, in other words.
And go to
I miss Alex.
British poetry right after that.
That's always the one. It's always like art history, the Bible, and there's just
you clean up on the Bible.
You clean up on the Bible.
I'll see like sports, something sports, and then 80s music, and I'm drooling, and then then it's
Will's with the last name Fortes.
European architect,
right? Yeah, or they screw you, and it's like the final Jeopardy question is like sports names, and you're like, I'm betting it all, and then it's like the jockey for Secretariat. I don't. That's the one I don't know.
Just the one.
That reminded me of something that what's hot. Secretariat's offspring.
Yes, that is correct. And tell everybody why.
Every single horse in the Kentucky Derby had a familial connection with Secretariat.
Every single one was a descendant of Secretariat. Every single one. Which couple things there. Hey, good for you, Secretariat. Getting around, right? What a life. And secondly, wow, they're really, really good. Really, really good. Turn up my sound, would you? There.
Inside by Ace's third, but it will be sovereignty to rule the Kentucky Derby. Journalism and by Ace over next. Final gambit was fourth. The final time was 2:02.31 seconds.
And then finally, before we go to Let's Go Streaking, speaking of this, would qualify as a who's hot, but actually it's technically a what's hot. Major League Baseball umpire Bill Miller's microphone. This was a funny moment. He left it on after a replay, overturned one of his calls, and he forgot it was on, and he wasn't happy with himself.
Durant hitting second, hitting third. Here he comes, trying to score. Here's the throw. He dives. He's safe.
See that tag right there was the
after review, the call to field is overturned. The runner is out. Minnesota retains.
So it is 6-1 as the call is overturned at the end of 8. Red Sox ahead 6-1.
Saw that too.
Yeah, the bleeps kind of mess it up, but he basically cursed himself out for getting the call wrong. Funny thing is, I don't know that it's been a long time since I've seen an umpire universally applauded like this. Because people loved it. Oh, he cares about his work, and he's super pissed he got it wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, NBA referees can't sleep at night when they miss a call.
I've seen that tweets. All right, let's go streaking, please.
Let's do it.
Go streaking.
We're going streaking! Yeah!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing?
We're streaking.
All right, we got a big streak on the line. Dave is at 11. Chris and I are at 1, so we'll start with the minor leagues here. I took Luis Arias, and on my one-game hitting streak, he got up 5 times. He got 3 hits for me with 3 RBIs, so I go to 2. Chris was at 1, trying to go to 2, and he took his favorite player, Jackson Holiday. Chris,
how'd he do? Wow. Okay, we get it. Well, you guys got hits.
Yeah, so 1 for 3. That's 2. I'm at 2. You are trying to go for 12, already your season best. I think it might be your career best. You took Mikhail Garcia of the Kansas City Royals. He got up 3 times, and he got 0.
Boo,
hits.
you suck.
We really do need to get that sound drop. Just not that one.
Hey,
no, not that one.
Good news is there's a few less games today, and you can pick for anybody you'd like.
I don't care. I don't like this game.
You're at 0. Chris and I are way ahead of you at 2.
All right. Well,
yeah, I'm jealous of Dave. He could pick anyone he wants.
All right. Let me start with the hottest hitter in baseball, Aaron Judge.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to take.
That was a good run.
It was a really good run. From the Athletics, Jacob Wilson.
Jacob Wilson. Right.
My hitter will also get a hit tonight at Sutter Health Park.
Oh.
Jorge Polanco.
Okay.
I was thinking of my parents' 60th.
You really took Mikhail Garcia.
I know. I
told you. I said
got
I don't
cute.
have a good feeling about that.
I got cute. Don't get cute. Never
It's cute.
mess with a winning streak. That's cute. My parents' 60th winning anniversary is July 2nd.
Oh, wow.
So I'm trying to think of
That
Hey, Jose Canseco's birthday.
Yeah, right?
What?
You didn't know that?
How does he? Who does? Who knows that other than Jose?
Why do you know
It's
that?
also because it's also Bret the Hitman Hart's birthday.
But also, who knows that?
Me.
Okay.
He's going to kill it on celebrity birthdays that day.
I was trying to think. My mom's health's not that great, so I'm trying to think of stuff to do separately. My sister will be up. I'm trying to think of things to do separately for them. And I thought maybe I'd take my dad to a Giants game.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't been to a Giants game in a long time. So I went to see if the Giants were in town. They're not. They're on the road.
They're here.
They're here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Do I break my self-imposed boycott in solidarity with Oakland fan to take my dad to A's Giants? The answer, of course, is yes.
There you go.
But I won't like it.
Ah, okay.
If that's what we end up doing, I won't.
Right.
I'll be there in protest.
Yeah.
Looks like I'm the only one with a backbone.
Hey, Chris, you want to go to the game tonight?
Maybe.
When we come back, let's look ahead to the Western Conference semifinals. We'll preview it starting tonight. Thunder and Denver.
Do you feel the thunder?
All ready to go.
We're getting closer and closer, by the way, to my favorite event to do of the year is to come on the show and have the trip planned for you and your dad, ultimately for you not to go. I don't have it planned yet because I need a few more details.
Gotta go.
Not from you. From the scheduling.
Gotta go this time.
Okay.
Gotta go. Gotta do it. Gotta go, Jason.
I'm going to make it happen. Now it's on you to make it happen. Who's that little guy?
Well, I guess we'll finish here, Jason. This is a little kid off the internet, and he looks like he's about 6, but in reality, I think he's got a job and a mortgage. And you got it ready, Chris. He's being asked about his plans today.
Yeah.
You got a lot of work to do?
Yeah. I gotta water grass, pick stuff up, pick sticks, chairs, all kinds of stuff up.
What about the chickens? You gonna feed them?
Yeah.
You do? What about the eggs?
Yeah, I'll check. I'm gonna check them. I'm gonna check the mail.
Well, I already checked the mail.
Okay. Any?
Yeah, we did get a few things. Bills.
Okay. I'm gonna run over there and water the grass over there. I'll be in the time 1. Okay?
What time?
1.
1? Well, it's like it's 5:40 right now.
Anyways, I gotta hurry and pick some sticks up and water the grass.
All right. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Yeah, he's a busy little kid.
He's got
Throw
a
stuff
schedule.
off a roof.
Yeah. That was Chris for a lot as a kid. Just organized.
Yeah.
Ready to go. Aaron wants to know if that was your UCLA sweater that my daughter tossed when she unveiled her.
Mine?
No, it was not. It was not your UCLA sweatshirt.
I had one ready for
These USC kids can just throw away money on schools that they're not even going to.
University of Spoiled Children. Call
You
that for
said
a
it.
reason. Yeah, call that for a reason. We'll take a break. Western Conference semifinal preview. Can we break now? Thanks, Chris. Coming up next.
Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
The following is sponsored by Bid My Listing. Selling your home? With Ready, R-E-D-Y, the best real estate agents will pay you up front for your listing. 2, 5, as much as $10,000 for the chance to sell your home. Now, why would they pay you to be your agent? Well, in today's market, your listing is really valuable. So as an agent, if they're smart, they'll go to Ready and offer you cash up front for your listing. And you do want a smart agent that'll get you the most for your listing, right? So when you're ready to sell, give us a call and give us the basic information about your property, and we'll notify those smart agents who signed up with Ready. And within 48 hours, they'll be competing to sell your home. You pick the best one and get paid thousands up front. Call 888-551-READY. 888-551-READY. That's 888-551-REDY. 888-551-READY. That's 888-551-REDY.
Have you ever dreamed of shopping for the perfect jewelry from home? Well, now it's possible, and you can even build your credit. PrestigiOJewelers.com now offers online shopping, making us the premium credit jeweler nationwide. With an exceptional selection of fine jewelry, from engagement rings and gold chains to sparkling diamond earrings and much more. With over 30 years of experience, Prestigio guarantees you'll find exactly what you're looking for. It's fast and easy. Once approved, you'll receive a guaranteed credit line from $400 to $10,000. All you need is to be 18 years or older, have a valid form of ID, be employed for a minimum of 6 months, and a bank account for automatic payments. PrestigiOJewelers.com is the perfect way to establish or reestablish your credit, with interest rates at only 2.25% per month. We are here to help you with monthly reporting to all major credit bureaus. The perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. Visit us online at PrestigiOJewelers.com or at one of our locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno. Enter code SACTOWNSPORTS at checkout to save 10%.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Yep. What do we do? Cam on the chat line wants to know, are we going to hear from the GM of Sac State on the program? Shaq? I don't know. Probably
I've
not.
reached out.
But tomorrow at 9 a.m.
What if we tell him that we're working for the General?
We could.
1-800-GENERAL now.
1-800-GENERAL, manager of the Sac State Hornets. Dr. Luke Wood, team president and school president. Sorry, thank you. And athletic director Mark Orr.
Both
are going to apparently. I don't think have we ever done this before.
A double video hit.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's see.
I don't know if we've ever done this before.
It's going to look like the Brady Bunch on there.
Oh yeah,
hilarious. They're going to be like answering like legit questions, and you and I are going to be like pointing, trying to point up and down.
Wait, no, here.
Chris, is there a layout where you could stack us? That'd be kind of. I don't know. That great,
I guess we'll
that'd
figure it out.
Kind of funny.
Fun with layouts.
What would be super funny would be if the video layout was the way it is right now, with you and me, and you're there and I'm here, but then you kind of minimize that so it's letterbox, and then they're like, remember the logo that would just like bounce up and down on the screen?
And they're moving around,
and they're just moving, or everyone's always waiting for the logo as it bounces around to bounce flush with the corner, and it never does.
Wouldn't they look like the bad guys from Superman 2 then?
Oh, like Zod, who's caught in the things? Yeah.
Zod.
General Zod.
Yeah.
From Krypton. Anyway, so they're joining us tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Awesome.
And
a lot going on over there.
Yeah.
Hornet land.
Yeah, a lot going over there in the land of the Hornet.
Yes.
So
only place for the Stinger go
is all the way up.
It's not Stinger sideways, like Uptown Girl guy. Yeah. All right, Thunder, Denver Thunder. The Thunder. Oh my God, it's the Thunder Nuggets. I just realized that. That's one of my favorite combos of the year, the Thunder Nuggets. We've all been there. They take on that series starts tonight. Can Denver pull off the upset is your first question on this sheet, Jason Ross. And my answer would be they could. And I'm not saying like they could, like the Kings could on any. I mean, I would be shocked if they did. But you also have, I don't know, man. Nikola Jokic just dominates, and Jamal Murray plays out of his mind, and everybody plays the best they could. They could give him a series. I just don't really see it.
Yeah, you're just trying to figure out, okay, now we get to the matchup part of this. Obviously, the Joker has to be amazing, which that's not a stretch.
Right.
Murray has to play at a high level. I don't think that's too much of a stretch. I think it may come down to like Gordon and Christian Brown and Westbrook, Porter, like the few other guys they have. It's just OKC doesn't have too many flaws, and they're going to have Coach Adams there is going to have to do his best to find whatever avenue that is that suits the Nuggets the best here. I thought the Clippers had the better makeup against OKC. Could be wrong on that, but I thought they would have a better chance. We'll see.
When we look at their season series, they played each other 4 times this year. They split them.
Okay.
Jason Ross. They split them. The Thunder played at the Nuggets right at the start of the season, October 24th. They beat Denver 102-87. That was the 4th straight time they had beaten the Denver Nuggets to start the season. Then they went back to Denver in November, and they lost by 2. Then they hosted Denver in March 9th, back-to-back. They beat Denver 127-103 in the first of that. Then the following day at home, they lost 140-127. And I am just honestly curious there as to, Nikola Jokic 35, 18, and 8. And Luguentz Dort led the Thunder
not play
with 26 points. That's what I'm looking now. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander played. He had 25 actually, and 8 of 14. I guess Dort just did his thing. Hartenstein had 20. Holmgren with 8 and 4. Caruso played in that. Looks like they had a pretty, Jalen Williams. They had a pretty full roster there.
Okay.
So that'll be interesting. And you would think you get the coaching edge to Mark Daniel. You still have David Adelman shifting on the fly here. But the Nuggets are the more experienced team with the championship pedigree. And you don't really want to look, what I really hope as an NBA fan is this. Okay. I really hope I would really like it to be the Thunder and the Timberwolves, because I feel like with Shea, with Anthony Edwards, and the rest of those teams, like that's the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Denver and Golden State, especially Golden State, that's, I'm done with that. Let's move into the.
You're done with Denver? Warriors have had more.
Warriors, yeah, no, you're right. I would say if the Warriors are long in the tooth, that the Nuggets are like medium in the tooth,
middle-aged
in the tooth, yeah. And then
the others have baby teeth.
They're teething, especially the Thunder. I don't know. It's tough for me to see.
Yeah.
Denver getting past these guys.
I think who could be an X factor is Westbrook.
Yeah.
Westbrook, when he plays well, it seems like Denver's pretty good. He's going back to the place where he started his career, played so much of his career with the Thunder. And then, I know we just did the stat earlier about all that rest that the Thunder have had while the Nuggets have had to keep playing here. We'll see. I mean, the Thunder is just, you probably have to win at least 1 game on the road, if not 2. I just think it's going to be really tough to beat the Thunder twice in OKC.
Well, that's the thing. Conventional wisdom would say if Denver's going to get one in Oklahoma City, it would be tonight. Tonight's the night. The Thunder been off 9 days. You think, oh, they're healthy, they're well rested, and yes, but also we saw it with Cleveland. Assumedly, we'll see how the rest of the series goes. But Cleveland had a lot of time off. Indiana was coming off a hard fought series against Milwaukee, and they go in there and they steal one.
Right?
Because the Nuggets do. If you told me the Nuggets were going to win a road game in this series, I'd say it would be tonight. I don't think they will. They're 9.5-point dogs for a reason, but that's what you'd think.
Yeah.
And we move on to the one that you would think is going to this one should be fun. Number 6 Minnesota versus number 7 Golden State. A couple of minor upsets, the Cinderellas, if you will, of the Western Conference.
And obviously we're all focused in on the game 7 of last night, but I was thinking about Minnesota from their perspective. They probably had to be as flexible as knowing, okay, we're boarding a flight tomorrow for Houston. Or we're hosting the Golden State Warriors. I mean, that's such a dramatic, and I know they would probably be careful in who they're rooting for, but if I was a T-Wolves fan, I'd been like, yeah, I'd rather be at home. I don't know if they'll beat the Warriors or what if they beat the Rockets, but being at home is great. So the first 2 games, and then now you have the Warriors coming that way.
I think that's actually a really interesting question. I agree with you. You'd think they'd root for home court advantage, but also, would you rather face the Nuggets than have to face the Warriors in the playoffs with all that experience?
Right.
Also, I wonder, I'd love to, I don't know if we have anybody in Minnesota. I wonder if they were packed. They were already packed.
Maybe wait for the game to end.
Just
because,
wait.
I mean, the flight would have been today.
Yeah. I guess you would have waited to pack. This has storylines galore. Can Minnesota keep Rudy Gobert on the floor?
Mm-hmm.
And when he is on the floor, how's that going to work with Draymond Green? You obviously have a history with them. The last time Draymond took an extended leave of absence was on the heels of him rear naked choking Rudy Gobert. And you're also going to have Anthony Edwards.
Yes.
I imagine checked by, what do you think? Butler will check him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
I think so. By the way, you got a little Jimmy Butler background there too with the Timberwolves.
Former team that he kind of basically wanted his way out. The other thing to watch too is Draymond picked up 5 technicals in that series. 7 you get suspended.
Interesting.
And so, I mean, if he misses a game, that's a huge deal for the Warriors.
That's we've seen it before. What was it? What was the one where he got suspended?
3-1 series.
Yeah.
With the Cavs.
Cavs. That's exactly right.
And you got to believe, I think they'll put McDaniels on Steph because we saw a lot of Amin Thompson, just that size and length would be my best guess. So that way you don't have to have Ant on him, but Ant would have the ability to switch. They'll probably try to get Conley on him or Gobert. Like if Gobert's in, they're going to try to do their best to get him on the switches and get him out of the perimeter or on the perimeter and out of the paint.
When Tim Connolly and their crew over at Minnesota traded for Rudy Gobert, the 4 first-round picks, you didn't like the move. Mm-hmm. You didn't like the idea of the Twin Towers.
Right.
Neither did Minnesota because they shortly after that traded Karl Anthony Towns last summer to the Knicks. They traded Karl Anthony Towns, and they received Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, and Keita Bates-Diop. Has that already become a good trade for them based on them beating the Lakers, their regular season? Do you believe they're a better team now? And sub-question, could Rudy Gobert be more playable now that Karl Anthony Towns isn't part of the equation?
Maybe a little more. I don't know if he's more playable. I shouldn't start there. I think it's the same, but they're just a different team. I think they're more balanced, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, there were strengths in having Gobert and Towns. They won. It didn't fail. I didn't think it would work to get to what they ultimately wanted was a championship. And here's back to another trade where the Knicks are really good with Towns.
Yeah.
And Randall and DiVincenzo, just kind of the totality of those two have helped the T-Wolves.
And both of those teams, the Knicks and the Timberwolves, by the way, both still going right now.
Yeah.
Both still active. By the way, Julius Randle on the year for the Timberwolves, 69 games. Nice. 18.7 points, 7 boards, just under 5 assists on splits of 48.5, 34.5, and 80.5, 18.7 points per game. So they got what they wanted. You also got a nice bench piece in Dante DiVincenzo. By the way, do we lump him in with Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Davion Mitchell? Why do we never mentioned Dante DiVincenzo? He was here not that long ago. Right. Now he's off frolicking in the playoffs with his red hair and fiery personality. We'll take a break. When we return, I don't know, Jason.
What do you want to talk about? Anything we can. Anything you want.
When we return, as the Matt Damon of this show's Jimmy Kimmel going to be a segment, or are we going to figure something out? We'll explain it coming up next.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, UC Davis, and Sac State with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
There are so many benefits of working with the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. Now, we chose them to get our new garage doors, and we're so thrilled that we did. They look absolutely amazing. Jason Ross here. And for us, well, we just flat out needed new garage doors. But maybe you do as well, or maybe it's just repairs to your existing doors. Well, the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento can help you with that. It is also a great time of year because this is when homes go on the market. So is yours ready? Well, one thing, don't forget about that garage door, because a new garage door can increase the value of your home. First off, with Curb Appeal, a new modern or stylish garage door can improve the overall appearance of your house. Also, the return on investment. It is one of the most cost-effective upgrades to increase your home value. You can see for yourself. Just visit the showroom off Franklin Boulevard and ask about the Sacktown Sports Special. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app. Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Eric Van Rooyen, the golfer at the Byron Nelson over the weekend. He had rounds of 66, 67, 65, and 63, Jason. Minus 23.
That's really good.
It's amazing.
How'd he do?
He lost by 8 to Scotty Scheffler.
Someone was better than that.
Scheffler was at minus 32 going into the 18th. Minus 32.
He could 10 putt.
It honestly makes me wonder. I played Wood Creek over the weekends. First time I played Wood Creek in a long time.
How'd you do? Minus 32?
Close. Actually, my buddy who I played with a ton growing up and still is, my buddy shot a flipping 1 over on the back.
Wow.
Yeah. We didn't realize it till like 15. I was like, dude, you're even par right now. And he and I are about the same.
Oh.
And so
sure.
Well, not that day. So I found myself wondering, like, I always wonder, like, how would a pro play a course like Wood Creek?
Mm-hmm.
You know, where there's like 3 par 4s that are accessible.
Yeah.
From, you know, with your driver, with their distances. And I feel like that's, but then again, you also wonder though, okay, but also those courses aren't as, I mean, no offense to Wood Creek is great, but it's not as well kept as the course they played on over the weekend.
Right.
So are there going to be some things that are random? You know,
If you love to travel, Capital One has a reward.
Is that me or you?
That's me.
Oh, that's Chris.
Yeah,
So
it makes you wonder.
It does make you wonder. So for the last few, almost 2 weeks, Jason, a little over a week, I think.
It's been at least a week. Yeah, I don't know if it's been 2, but
we have had the story of George Kittle signing his contract.
Yeah. Well, he hopes to be a Niner for life.
Niner for life. And every day we end up not getting to it, and Jason has left it on the rundown.
Yeah, same spot.
For well over a week. And we just don't get it. It's kind of a running joke. But here we are, Jason.
Yeah.
It's in there, and I don't have anything else. Let's talk about George Kittle.
Okay.
You want to knock this one out?
Sure.
Okay, George Kittle.
Well, signed that record deal, right? 4 years, $76.4 million. What was interesting on looking some of this stuff up, if all this goes to fruition, he would be at 10 years as a San Francisco 49er. And I thought, okay, well, that's great. But I guess that's a pretty exclusive list. 51 other players have done that. 10 years with that team. I don't have the full list, but
no, I got you.
But I thought there would be more than that. Maybe, I mean, that's partly about football, not really about the Niners. I think that's just the sport in general.
I say this as a lifelong Niner fan. Greatest tight end of all time, Niners?
I mean, you're looking at Vernon Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Clark?
I always get confused on this one. Wasn't Clark a wide receiver?
They kind of listed him as wide receiver too, yeah.
But sort of, but he was sized like a tight end.
Brent Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be Kittle, right?
Kittle. Which
maybe even the stats would back that up. Catches, yards, touchdowns, that whole thing.
I think
what he's meant. I mean, he feels like, on the offense, that's the guy that's just always been there.
Vernon Davis, George Kittle, Brent Jones. Oh, we forgot two.
Who?
Monty Stickles and Ted Quaylick.
I did forget those.
You did forget those, Jason.
Stickles and Quaylick.
You're a real stickler for Stickles, too.
Stickles and Quaylick.
CBS this fall.
I was going to say, that is a comedy law drama. That's a comedy llama on CBS Sunday nights.
Your problem is you play by the book too much.
I play by the book, but you got somebody killed.
That's right. What are the names?
Stickles and Quaaludes. What is it?
Quaaludes.
Stickles and Quaylick. By the way, no offense to these guys. We're just having fun.
Yeah. Who's the good cop, bad cop?
Oh, Stickles is definitely the guy who's by the book.
Definitely.
Wouldn't it be ironic if it wasn't him?
Like,
isn't that the story? If it's not Stickles?
Yeah, like everybody thinks I'm because Stickles, like I'm a stickler, but really I love cocaine.
Yeah.
Like one of those.
Quaylick's like, no.
Right.
It's illegal.
No, it's illegal. You can't do that.
Right. That's frowned upon.
Yeah.
But I got a prescription.
The only prescription you have is for a one-way ticket to hell.
And Stickles rips the glass.
This might be too much for CBS.
I know, right? Are we moving into Stars
or AMC?
Yeah. It's Paramount Plus.
I swear to God, I feel like Russ Francis.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely, Kittle's the best of all time. And great, fine, super grand, wonderful. The other thing, too, with tight ends, by the way.
And if he's one of the best, if he's the best of all time, where would he be on the best of all time 49er list? Because now you're getting to argue.
Well, now I'm trying to wonder if he's top 10. And I instinctively say no.
On all-time Niners?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say all-time modern Niners. Like, I'm not trying to get like Y.A. Tittle or whatever. I don't know. But I would say, okay, first off, Montana Young, Rice. There's three right there. No chance. T.O. for sure. T.O.'s top 3 receiver of all time. So he's certainly, definitely.
But not all Niner, but he was there for a long time.
Yeah, 100%. Lott, absolutely. Roger Craig, I think I would put above George Kittle.
Because, again, not a Hall of Famer, though.
No.
He should be.
Also, though, I think it's George Kittle will be a Hall of Famer, but I also feel like it's easier to make it as a tight end than a running back. I could be wrong. I don't know what I do with Trent Williams. I feel he hasn't been there enough, though, but he has been there a while.
Willis?
Patrick Willis. See, that's interesting. Patrick Willis is a better player than George Kittle.
And I don't know that he made 10 years.
I don't think he did.
Yeah.
Patrick Willis is there for, it seemed like for
7 or 8.
Yeah.
Probably.
Rice, Montana, Young, Lott, for sure.
Ray Wersching?
Ray Wersching, the kicker. Well, hell, Wersching and Robbie Gould. Frank Gore. Sorry, you got to put Frank Gore in there. So that's what? That's 5, 6 with Willis, 7 with Craig.
I know
8 with
more defensive guys.
8 with Owens. Dion wasn't there long enough. Ooh, Bryant Young.
I was just thinking of Bryant Young.
Bryant Young. I mean, now we're right there now.
So Kittle could be there.
I just instinctively feel like putting George Kittle as a top 10 all-time 49er is sacrilegious. But it might not be. That one of the things I love about tight ends too in football is that tight ends are almost like offensive linemen in the sense that it does take some level. John Taylor is not better than George Kittle, guys. Knock it off. Get out of here with that. I love John Taylor. 94 seconds, Bengals, Super Bowl, but come on. It takes you have to actually have a little bit of an understanding of how football works, just like with grading offensive linemen. Same thing with tight ends, because you can look at a tight end and go, touchdowns, yards, catches, yes, and yes.
Right.
But there's a big difference between tight ends that do that. And George Kittle is a blocking tight end. George Kittle will lay people out. George Kittle is another offensive lineman that happens to catch passes and score touchdowns and is graceful. And not all of your great tight ends do that.
Correct.
In fact, many do not. They're there.
Right.
They're like setting screens basically in basketball. I don't, and a lot of people are saying Bill Walsh. No, we're talking players. Who's a better 49er, George Kittle or Fred Warner?
Warner also is going to get a lot of love there for he's still got more time to go. Man, that's a good one.
A lot of people are saying Deion Sanders, but again, I don't think Deion was there. I love Deion. I just don't. He wasn't there long enough to be an all-time great. He had, by the way, I would say if you took most talented Niners while they played for the Niners, like who had the best years, I think Deion Sanders would be top 10.
Yeah,
but he just wasn't. I don't think he was there long enough to pass a lot of these guys, as all-time greats. Either way, it's an interesting conversation. If George Kittle isn't a top 10 all-time 49er, he's within barking distance.
He's right there on the cusp.
And he probably is. Yeah. Either way, 4 years, $76.4 million. I think my only possible issue is that he's going to be 32 next season. But again, some of these ages, he doesn't appear to be slowing down. I'm not seeing the guy be, last 4 years, the guy's played 14, 15, 16, and 15 games.
That's reliable.
That's incredibly reliable. And he's had 2 straight 1,000-yard seasons, 1,100 yards receiving last year, 8 touchdowns, career high in second in receiving years. God, he had 1,377 his second year in the league. Also the second most touchdowns he scored in a year behind 2022. We'll take a break. When we come back, what to watch? There's a lot to watch tonight, Jason. It's a good sports night.
Yeah, it is.
Also, crosstalk with Styles and celebrity birthdays next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Right-handed pitcher JT Ginn, out with that right elbow inflammation, started a throwing program last week, and his expected return is TBD. Zach Geloff, still out with that fractured right hand, began a rehab assignment with AAA Las Vegas last week, leading off at designated hitter and going 0 for 2 with the walk. His expected return is early May. This injury report was brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Louis C.K. in an all-new show, Ridiculous 2025 Tour.
When I was younger, you had to go in the bank. Remember that? You had to go inside the bank. Now you look in the bank, you're like, what are those people doing in there? Are they cleaning? The money's out here.
Friday and Saturday, June 13th and 14th, 8 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Louis C.K. live on stage.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is only a few weeks away with Bailey Zimmerman.
Baby, go and leave me all the way.
Cole Wetzel. Plus Billy Currington, Nate Smith, Ernest, and more. Friday and Saturday, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo. Don't miss pop-up stores, food trucks, line dancing, and more. Country in the Park, celebrating 25 years, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Goldfield Trading Post, Java City, and Elemental Wine. Get tickets and more at CITPFest.com. Disturbed. Live. Oh, come on, get down with the 25th anniversary of the 5-time platinum album, The Sickness. 2 sets, 1 show, The Sickness in its entirety, and greatest hits with special guests, Daughtry, and Nothing More. Friday, May 9th, Golden One Center. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Disturbed. Live. The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
I am enjoying the Dave Matthews theme Chris has adopted. Not one of my favorite Dave Matthews songs, though. Actually.
I don't know this.
It's too much.
It's too much. What's really weird is I actually thought I'd be a huge Dave Matthews fan for life. They put out so much damn content. But they kind of went the way of Pearl Jam for me, where they started out just banger after banger after banger after banger. And I just think they got bored and turned into a jam band. They're like Fish for pop.
Pop Fish.
They're pop version of Fish. They're all
that might be the best description.
They're an incredibly talented band. If you get a chance to see them live, you should do it. I would just like to see them live with like only stuff from their first 3 or 4 albums. I don't. Can anyone who's not a Dave Matthews band name anything they did after album 4 that did anything? But, they followed up Under the Table of Dreaming with, what was it? What Would You Say? And then they, Satellite. Space,
what would you say?
Yeah, those were
say what up.
Great songs. Even that Don't Drink the Water song. I was like, okay, I kind of see where you're going. All right. Sure. And then next thing you know, it's like you get their album. And it's a double album live at Wrigley Field, and every song is 9 minutes. It's like, I don't need this. I know musicians love that stuff. They're just like, you don't understand. It's over your head. I'm like, well, yeah, okay.
You're right.
You're right. I don't need to hear a 9-minute clarinet solo. I'm good, dude. I'm good on that. My cousin Nat actually, when they lost their saxophonist, it was the final 3, and he did not make it, but he was going to be a member. He made it to the final 3. Did not make it, and then toured with a band called the English Beat. He actually became their saxophonist for a while, and now he's in New York.
Doing?
Sanitation. Yeah, he's got a wife and kids out there.
Nice.
Good for your one cousin.
Yeah, the one cousin. All my cousins are.
I have over 40.
Yeah. Oh, no, I got like
each one better than the other.
I got like 8 cousins. 40 cousins. Jesus. I don't know what I'd do, man. Well, did you have events where like they'd all be there? Not all, but like 30?
I don't have over 40. I've got 20.
Why is that believable to me that you did, though?
Oh, well, I asked my mom one time, how many cousins does she have? And she thought about it, started counting, and she goes 62 on my mom's. It's just on her mom's side.
Look, I'm gonna say something here, and I want to preface this by saying, I don't mean any disrespect or offense to big families. I don't get it, dude.
Wow,
I don't get it.
Thanks for saying that I shouldn't exist.
You're a single. You're only child, aren't you?
My grandma was the second youngest of 16.
Okay, so here's what I didn't say. What I didn't say, and I even do the preface because it's you. What I didn't say is any families who have more than 4 kids shouldn't exist. That's not what I said. I literally don't know. Like I could see 3 kids. 4, and you're like a Brady Bunch, basically. You're just like, okay, now it's just kid. And then the people that live across the street from us have 11 kids.
Wow.
And they've lived there almost as long as we've lived there. We've been there like 13 years now. And when we got there, I think they had 1 or 2. And I just don't know, like, for the mom, like, her job is pregnancy. Like that for 15 years, she's pregnant.
And then, or raising, right?
Right.
And the whole family.
And they've got a big old, one of them like Sprinter vans.
Yeah. Everybody piles in. At that point, the kids start taking care of the other kids.
That's kind of what it's just a whole different
team.
And again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. God bless you. It works great. Awesome. There's been times where I thought, oh, how great Christmas time. And everyone's gathered around. Everyone's doing the chores. And all. But I'm just thinking like the dishes, the food.
Have you seen Billy? Not in 3 days.
Not in 3 days. Yeah. Where is Billy? He's under the pile in the room. Yeah. Like there's bunk beds in every room. I don't know I just don't know financially how they do that.
Right.
So, Dave, what I think you're saying is it's just.
Yes, it is. It's way too much. How do you get any quiet time? How do you go on vacation? You know what your vacation is? The backyard with tents. That's your vacation. How the hell are you taking 11 kids on vacation? You need your own plane. Can you imagine the Southwest check-in for 13 people, all members of the family? Plus,
is everybody here? I don't.
And you know what else? It ain't 13 people, dude. It's 15 because you're bringing a grandma. You're bringing a grandma and an aunt. You got to have somebody.
The McAllisters did it.
Did they get all of them?
No.
I got one.
That's exactly right.
Who was it?
One of the kids. Is that guy in Succession's little brother.
Kevin.
Older brother.
Older brother. That's right. Mariners at A's.
Oh, I think he was in that movie too.
He was.
Yeah.
Or was he in one or just two?
He was in both of them.
Okay.
Fuller.
A's back at Sutter Health Park. Oh, yeah. Hey, kids, want to go to the ball game? Great. Let's get a section. That's the other thing.
Can we each bring a friend?
Here's my question I would like to ask. Like, I would like to hook up parents of like 10 kids. I would like to hook them up to a lie detector test. They got a favorite, right? Like, I love, there are different things I love about both my kids. I could never tell you which one's my favorite. There's different things about both of them that I love and things that bother the hell out of me. You have 10 kids. Okay, even if you don't have a favorite, for sure there's one that is your least favorite. There's one where you're like, Billy, why didn't we just stop at 9?
Well, Billy thinks his sister Amy is his mom.
Oh, because she's the older sister.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Talk about colleges.
Oh,
and or
God.
Weddings in the future.
Right. Weddings. Even Christmas.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting for Christmas, kids? Food.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Hand-me-downs.
Everyone's got a list of chores. I had to have a family meeting yesterday because it was a chore day. We did the garden outside and all that stuff. And I
out there picking up sticks.
Like, I'm not even lying. I went and got breakfast burritos. We try to do that on Sundays. And I called the kids down. They were sleeping. They're all, sleepy and whatever. And of course, my daughter's eyes literally are rolling out of the back of her head. Look, I actually made a draft list.
Kid chores.
Did
they get to draft?
So they got to draft. And the first
draft?
I went up, I opened, because their doors are right next to each other. I opened both doors. I stand in between them. And I go, children. That's how I wake them up. Children. And then I said, first one down gets to pick the chore. It gets to pick the first chore. Let's go. And I go downstairs. And of course, Avery just rolls down the stairs like crazy. Right there, out of breath, ready to go. Mason, go.
I'll take whatever's left.
Yeah, just went and I think Anyways,
So what was the first pick?
The first pick of the
Can you tell us the chore list? Let's see, Chris. How would you and I do?
All right, so
Chris, you can have first pick.
So outside, just to keep in mind, outside, like I have this little pole saw, so that we have a little like mini palm tree back there. I was cutting the fronds down, and then there's various like a popped beach ball, this or that. There's a bunch of crap in the backyard that just need to be cleaned up. On top of that, like garden stuff, like dirt needed to be moved. We had this big junk pile, right? So clippings and all the backyard junk taken to the side yard. Okay, so that was the outside chore, really, and just general cleanup. Inside, dishes completed, not dishes done, dishes completed, because there was a couple loads left over from the night before. And so you had to fill. There was like 3 loads to do. Kitchen wiped down, including the stove and the microwave. All 3 toilets needed to be cleaned. The kids' bathtub needed to be cleaned. All the waste baskets needed to be taken out. Somebody had to vacuum. Both their rooms had to be cleaned, and both their laundries had to be done. And in the case of the dishes and laundry, that's a thing where you just kind of, because while the dishwasher's running, you got to do something else. While the laundry is laundry, you got to do something else. So room and laundry, they both had to do. So what is the least?
Yeah, Christy, if you had first pick, what are you picking?
I am picking dishes.
Ah, darn it.
Really? Over vacuuming?
Oh, yeah.
No, but so if I'm, do I get second and third?
Yeah, it was a snake draft, as a matter of fact.
I would do vacuuming, and there was another one after dishes.
It was dishes, kitchen wipe down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kitchen wipe down and vacuuming.
Okay. Chris, your pick. You have toilets, bathtub. Wow, now you guys pick
clippings,
waste baskets.
Oh, that was the one.
Yeah, that was. You do the clippings and junk taken out. I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah.
He gets.
I'm guessing I get a wheelbarrow out of that.
Yeah, you do.
Put on
you
the
did.
podcast.
You did.
Yeah. Then you get a second one, Chris.
Here's what's left. You're obviously going waste baskets, right?
Well, no, but Chris gets.
Oh, yeah.
I will also take waste baskets.
Okay. Here's what's left, Jason, for you. You have a choice between all 3 toilets or cleaning out the kids' bathtub, which may I just say,
or their rooms. I would
no. They both had to do their rooms.
Okay.
They both had to do their own laundry. Let me just say, the kids' bathtub looked like a gas station bathtub.
Okay. I would have.
How many bathtubs are at a gas station?
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm just saying if there was one. But your point.
I definitely would have picked laundry.
Laundry.
Yeah. Anyway,
and then they do.
What were you doing?
What was I doing? Everything outside, along with. We went and got all the bark. We went and got all the soil. We barked and soiled. I sawed everything down. I'm directing traffic as well. Plus, then
point guard.
But then also like the main gazebo area, like table, everything gets wiped down, vacuumed out. Gotcha. All that little shop vac. I vacuumed the leaves.
Busy day.
Busy
around the house.
Very busy day. It was one of those. And then I woke up this morning, my back hurt. And I go, yeah, I'm getting old. Getting old. Mariners days, Sutter Health Park tonight.
I just want to tell you, it was a real pleasure watching you work.
It was. It is good. It is a great feeling watching your kids work, especially when they don't. Knicks at Celtics tonight. Game 1. Nuggets Thunder. Thunder Nuggets. Game 1 tonight. We'll take a break when we come back. Crosstalk with Alan Stiles. Celebrity birthdays and more next.
Daddy's got to go to work. The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, UC Davis, and Sac State with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SacktownSports.com to join.
It's Carmichael Dave talking to you about my good friends at American Energy. You're in the Sacramento area. You know how the seasons work. They are a-changing right now. So American Energy wants to help you stay warm for the rest of the cold season, but help you stay cool during the warm season. Best way to do that, make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of half off a tune-up, $24.50. They cut that right in half. And if you want a diagnostic, guess what? You can't beat free. If it's free, it's me. And now it can be you. And also, it's the end of the season blowout. $4,000 off a new system plus any rebates. That $4,000, that's a direct drop from the sticker price. It's a great deal. Check them out at theaeway.com or an instant quote, or give them a call at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade Event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New Trade Event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See for full details and disclaimer.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. Classes start May 14th. Apply now and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Chargers sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
That's a true story, guys. That a lot of the ET stuff has been explained now because they tied Spielberg and Lucas tied the universes together. Because if you watch like the not the new ones, but the prequels or whatever. There's the ETs were part of the Galactic Senate, right? When Palpatine took over, became Emperor, and it only makes sense if they live in if that whole universe is one. Now we know why ET could make the bike fly. Now we know why ET could make this stuff levitate. Guys, ET was, if he wasn't a Jedi, he 100% was Force sensitive. That's a fact. That's not a bit I'm doing, Alan. Good morning.
Your thoughts?
Oh.
Who cares?
You know what?
I'm still just looking at the crusty sauce.
Taco Bell wall.
The Taco Bell.
Oh, I know, right? Hey, what were you saying? I was doing something on the TV. What were you saying when you walked in about basketball? I didn't hear.
I said there was some high-level basketball being played this weekend.
I feel like that's not what you said. Is that what you said? I feel like that's not what you said. I could be wrong.
Pretty much. Tomato, potato.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Good job with Doug.
Thank you.
How'd that go? I know
Doug was great.
You hit him with the Sam Amick question.
I had to.
Yeah,
I had to. He handled it like a champ.
He did.
And
didn't deny it.
No. He said he did. He said it was coming from. He said when he heard about it, it was quote coming from a different place, but I won't. Get into that.
Right. Which good for him.
I guess means that if it was brought up to him, it was more so like, I guess, hey coach, this is what we're feeling. When he said what he said, which was kind of the big quote that everybody was enjoying online, I just hope people put their names on things because I'm always going to own mine. That actually made me think more because if he did hear about it, it's almost as if he heard about it from some players, but how he heard about it is different than how it was being reported. So maybe he did hear about it from one, two, whoever, but whoever kind of changed it the way he changed, because he's not talking about Sam Amick, because Sam Amick did put his name on it.
Yeah.
So to me, it had to be
he's talking about the player or coach or whoever.
Yeah, exactly.
Which they're never going to put their name on it because then they can't be a source anymore.
Right.
But the moral of the story is this: Sam Amick knows what he's talking about.
Well, yes, we've been.
Not everybody feels that way.
Well, no. We've been back and forth on this before, and I feel like we're on the same page. Where it's not that they don't think that he knows what he's talking about. It's that when he says stuff that you don't want to hear,
that's right.
Then things change. If Sam Amick came out today and said it sounds like Giannis might be interested in Sacramento.
Oh, Sam's a great reporter. He's really on the floor with the sources.
Yeah, no, I've always liked that Sam.
But when he's not, fake news. Sam's just Sam's always hating on the Kings.
Yeah.
Say the guy who raised his family in Elk Grove. And
that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out Elk Grove. I went to Folsom Lake for the first time.
That's a great story. Yes. Hey, Crumble Cookies have a 12-pack of Crumble Cookies for you. Listen, Mother's Day is this weekend. Treat the family or treat the mom in your life or yourself to the sweetest gift of all this Mother's Day with a 12-pack of Crumble Cookies. Hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now. Lucky caller number, Alan. 4. We'll score our certificate for a free 12-pack of cookies from Crumble. And, hey, listen, if you can't win here and get yourself Mother's Day taken care of, just remember the afternoon show will also give you a chance to win a 12-pack of Crumble cookies as well. And coming up on Alan Styles' show, starting in just a couple minutes, Alan will have for you awesome content and your phone calls at 1-800-920-1140. What were you saying about Folsom?
Yeah, no, went to Folsom Lake for the first time this weekend. Had a lot of fun. That was a good one.
Thank you.
Real quick, since I said 4,
yeah,
I'm just thinking now that we're moving past
I felt like you said 8, by the way,
the beam team era thing. I was told nobody knew what the 4s meant when they took pictures, and now the 4s are it's done, right? They're not going to throw up the 4s anymore.
I don't know what it meant to know that they wouldn't do it, though.
Me neither.
Right, I don't know.
I just know Trey Lyles always did it.
So by the way, are we moving? Are you implying like we're done with the beam?
I didn't.
You've been trying to get rid of the beam since you got
here. I beams. I love the beams.
You have been trying.
I love beams. It's sponsored, so
you hate the beam, Alan.
I've never hated the beam. I do think it's. I mean, we could probably say that I was maybe a couple months early on it, but
so you do want to get rid of it.
People are talking about it, not me. I would never talk about it.
People are talking. Well, I wish they put their name on it.
I do too.
You know.
Texters.
Celebrity birthdays brought to you by the aforementioned Crumble Cookies. Crumble Cookies. Great enough for your family, great enough for your friends. Oh my God, Mom, I completely spaced on you. Crumble Cookies to the rescue.
On this date, in what year did the movie Gladiator come out?
Easy.
Really, you want to have Chris go first and see if everybody agrees?
Yeah.
Chris.
2000.
He's right.
He's right?
Yeah.
Okay.
99.
All right. We have a correct answer, and it's Dave and Chris.
Yeah.
2000.
Just
Alan's going to do his own thing.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
You've been wrong twice this segment.
High-level basketball.
High-level basketball.
Happy birthday to Adele.
Adelaide.
Sounds just like her.
Adelaide or Adele. 31.
31.
Yeah. She just had her album.
Was she 18 when she became famous?
Yes. Remember, that's what she did.
I don't know. I'm going to say 35.
43.
Alan's closest, 37. Happy birthday to Danielle Fishel.
Oh, hey, Topanga.
Yeah.
How old do you think she is, Chris?
I think she is 47.
Wrong. She's 45.
Topanga.
Isn't that a
46
in Kansas?
Dave's closest, 44.
Whoa, good for you, Topanga.
Happy birthday to PJ Tucker.
He's still trying to play somewhere, man. Where is he?
He is 39. That's where he's at.
There's no way.
Is he in Portland or something?
40. It's got to be.
He is 38.
We have a correct answer, and it's Alan Stiles, 40.
PJ Tucker, Doc Rivers, they all have that, the tattooed hair.
Fun.
Carlos Boozer has the tattooed beard.
Whoa, yeah, that thing.
What does the PJ and PJ Tucker stand for?
Percival.
Paul James.
Pajamas.
Wrong, all three of you. His first name is Anthony Leon.
Yep.
So was I closer?
I think you were, Chris. Show today. What's happening?
Great show.
Is it?
Second round predictions, looking over the first round. Do the Kings need a number one? And what the first round taught us about the Beam team, huh?
Wow. What did the first round teach us about the Beam team? Are you going to rip on James Harden a little bit?
James Harden might be coming to Sacramento.
Oh, you just made Dave mad.
Don't even put that in the ether, dude.
Text me.
No. Alan, stop.